Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Utah Hockey Broadcast. I'm Anita Tsuchiya. I'm flying solo tonight, but I'm welcoming all of you. I'm hoping you're all going to keep me company by joining in here. We've got a hot rivalry matchup here. We have number 7 ranked Arizona State University facing up against number 10 ranked University of Utah. I want to welcome all of our fans, both from Arizona State and the Utah side. Of course, if you watched last night's game, you know that Arizona State came out the victor, 2-1 against the University of Utah, and I'm sure Utah is going to be itching for a chance for payback. It was a fast and furious game with a lot of hitting, a lot of great play, and I'm expecting the same tonight. I'll quickly go through the starting lineups for you. For Arizona State this evening, it's going to be our forwards are going to be 9, Clayton Lackey, 11, Elliot Plord, and number 21, Carson Cooch. The defenders are going to be number 4, Cade Olson, and number 15, Ty Marchant. In goal for the Sun Devils tonight, it's going to be Eric Garber, same as last night. For the University of Utah Utes, the forwards will be 15, Landon Langenbrunner. I expect he's going to center. Number 19, Trent Gebhardt, and number 24, Ethan Light. The defenders for Utah are going to be number 6, Logan Jackson, and number 2, Kenyon Carter. Going to have a goalie switch tonight in the pipes for Utah. Number 32, Rhett Kimmel. We're just getting ready to get started here. Both teams getting lined up and getting ready. And once again, I'm hoping that you will be patient with me, Arizona State fans. I will do my best. Thankfully, I see nameplates, which helps me a lot, so I don't have to keep looking at my roster. And again, this rivalry is pretty intense. It goes back beyond this season, Arizona State and Utah. It's always a lively match whenever these two meet. When Utah headed to Arizona State, I know that they did not come out of that unscathed, victorious. And it would be really great for Utah to come out of this weekend with a split. And it looks like we've got a little bit of a delay here. We might be looking to do some ice repair, it looks like, behind the Utah net. And of course, if you are tuning in, we are starting a bit late. We had a delay in our first game, and it kind of just rolled all the schedules back. And now it looks like, indeed, I'm seeing a gal back there with some water. And it looks like maybe patting some, or not some water, but a bucket full of shaved ice to kind of like patch up a spot behind the goal. And, of course, the Utah Utes are being coached by head coach Morgan Feeney, and the head coach for the Arizona State Sun Devils is Austin Klein. Now, coming into the game, Arizona State's leading goal scorers, I didn't include last night's game, but apologize for that, but is Brendan Studioso. He has 10 goals, 10 assists for 20 points. That's a nice, healthy number. Right behind him is Elliot Plord with 6 goals, 6 assists for 15 points. Clayton Lackey comes in there with 6 goals, 7 assists, and 13 points. And Connor Tillman comes in with 7 goals, 4 assists for 11 points. And Damon Porter, our number 5 scorer for Arizona State, is 6 goals, 2 assists for 8 points. So 4 of those 5 top point getters for Arizona State in double digits. Utah is no slouch in the scoring department. They don't have quite as good numbers as Arizona State, but the leading scorer for University of Utah is Ethan Light with 13 goals, 2 assists, and 15 points. Michael Urs is next with 3 goals, 6 assists, and 9 points. Benji Michael has 3 goals, 5 assists, and 8 points. Landon Langenbrunner, sorry about that, I'm getting tongue-tied tonight. He's got 0 goals, 8 assists for 8 points, and the 5th point scorer for Utah is Bryce Miller. 3 goals, 4 assists, 7 points. Looking at our goalie matchups, Eric Garber has been the primary goalie for Arizona State, although Dawson Rodin and Blake Biela have both had some time in the pipes. Eric Garber has spent 384 minutes. That's 8 games played. He's got a save percentage of .890. That is a very good save percentage. This evening's goalie, Rhett Kimmel, he hasn't had nearly as much time in the pipes. He's had 181 minutes, 3 games. His save percentage is .884, so also very nice numbers for a goalie. Might be a goalie duel tonight. Looking forward to that. And again, I want to remind people that this is the third day of our Beehive Showcase. Tomorrow we do have a couple more games. And if you are a fan of women's hockey, which I'm sure you are if you're tuning in, we have a highlight game I'd like to point out at 10:30 now. Unfortunately, it is not going to be broadcast, so it's only going to be available for those of you in Salt Lake. But if you are in Salt Lake, I highly recommend the morning game at 10:30, which is going to be number 10 ranked University of Massachusetts Amherst Women's 1, facing the number 6 University of Michigan game. And having watched both those teams play, I can tell you'll see some fast and furious, fine skating, great stick handling, and pretty physical play. So it should be a very competitive contest. After that, we'll have the last game of the showcase. 12:30 p.m. It's going to be the men's 2, number 5 ranked University of Montana, facing number 11 ranked University of Utah. And again, that should be a very competitive match. The M2 men have gone undefeated so far in the showcase. They faced Grand Canyon the first night, beat them 6-3. Next, it was Boise State on Friday. They beat them 8-3. And then just this evening, they faced, I'm losing my place here, they faced Wyoming. And I'll have to look up that score, but they did indeed win. And so these are important points for them because the opponents that have showed up for the men's 2 have been all from the Mountain West District of the ACHA. And of course, the ACHA rankings are one way of qualifying for the national championships in March. And so I know that the M2 team for Utah has got their eyes set on that. Meanwhile, for the men's 1, they also are fighting hard to try and get those qualifiers. These points that they're accumulating here against Arizona State, they belong to the same conference, the Western Collegiate Hockey League, the WCHL. And of course, those rankings as well help the team qualify, in addition to total points in the national rankings. Arizona State, of course, being very high ranked at the national level. Also, I believe they are pretty high ranked in the WCHL. So let me take a quick look. Actually, they're dropped a little bit lower according to WCHL rankings. I'm sure that's going to change by the end of this weekend. The WCHL is recalculated every week, actually twice, 2 days in a row every week. Right now, at the top of the WCHL is Central Oklahoma, who is firmly in first place, followed by Utah. Then in third place is University of Nevada, Las Vegas. In fourth place is Missouri State. Tied for fifth, again, is this Arizona State in Colorado. In seventh place, Grand Canyon. Eighth place, Arizona. Ninth place, Colorado State. And then in 10th place is Oklahoma. But like I said, I suspect that after this weekend, that's going to flip and change around. I have a feeling Arizona State's going to bump up the chart quite a bit. In the national rankings, like I said, Arizona State comes in as number 5 and Utah comes in as number 10. And Arizona State has always had a history of a strong collegiate hockey program. Similarly to Utah, they also have a men's 1, a men's 2, they have a women's 1, and they also have an NCAA D1 team, which originally was the club team, and then they decided to move up to NCAA. And so they feel, you know, it's kind of interesting that how much hockey is being played in the middle of the desert. But Arizona has become quite a hockey center out in the West. University of Arizona also has a pretty good program as well, pretty good program. And of course, we know that WCHL is a very strong conference. We are quite proud of WCHL. In fact, let's see, let's take a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams in the WCHL in the top 15 And if you go in the top 20, it becomes 7 teams. So again, we have a really robust conference, which is very nice here because that means that we are playing the best of the best, and it also means no surprises once we get to nationals. The one problem when you have a small conference is if the competition level isn't up to par with at the national level, you may do really well in the conference and then fly out to wherever the nationals is, have one game and go home, and that's no fun for anyone. And it looks like they're still working on the ice here. So I thought maybe what I'll do is I'll kind of talk a little bit about, let's talk up Utah hockey a little bit since you're still here with me. Now, of course, Utah hockey, as you know, has the 3 teams, and you can always follow Utah hockey on social media. We've got a Facebook page that's called Skatin' Utes with no G, just Skatin Utes, U-T-E-S, Skatin' Utes, that's Facebook. Now, when we get to Twitter, we do have 3 Twitter accounts, and I'm going to give you a little forewarning right in advance. There is a Skatin' Utes Twitter account that is not the official Utah Hockey's Twitter account. For the men's D1, the official account is Utah Hockey. For the women's D1, it's Utah W Hockey. And for the men's 2, it's Utah M2 Hockey. That's M like Michael 2. And, of course, there's a big presence on Instagram as well, Utah W Hockey for the women. Men's 1 is Utah Hockey, and men's 2 is Utah M2 Hockey. And I'd like to point out that we've got some great graphics on both Twitter and Instagram. You want to go and check that out. Some great shots we have here from the game. We also sometimes have video clips. We have little memes going on. So if you kind of like that kind of visual stuff, go and check those out. And, of course, one of the things that we're also doing is I believe that Utah Hockey is going to be putting out a podcast, and it's going to cover all 3 teams. It's going to be with my senior broadcast partner, Patrick McGann, who is not here this weekend. He decided to go home and visit his family, and he lives quite far away. He lives in Chicago area, so they don't get to see him much. So he's gone to visit his family, and he's also gone to visit his girlfriend's family out there in Michigan. So he's not here, but anyway, he's going to be hosting this podcast along with former team captain, longtime Ute, Alex King. And I believe the name of the podcast is going to be Patrick and the King. It should be available both on Spotify and iTunes. However, it hasn't been published yet. I know that they're arranging the interviews. Meanwhile, we also get some featured, we also have some featured news on another podcast, which is the WCHL podcast. That podcast is run by Chris Perry, who is the commissioner of the Western Collegiate Hockey League. And Chris kindly invited me, or maybe foolishly invited me, to be a guest host. So I'm there roughly every other week, and we talk about WCHL hockey. We talk about all kinds of fun things. Chris also lets me squeeze in some news about the Pac-8 and the women's WWCHL, which is the Western Women Collegiate Hockey League, which, of course, Utah belongs to both of those. And we usually wrap up with something more interesting than hockey, according to Chris, although he also claims he's not a hockey guy. Don't let him fool you. He knows more about hockey than you might think. And we might talk about movies, music, food. I think the last time I was on there, Chris asked me what my favorite Halloween candy was and was incredibly disappointed when I told him that I don't eat candy anymore. And the last time I could remember having a favorite was when I was 10 years old. So, yeah, a bit of a wet blanket there. Sorry, Chris. But usually pretty entertaining. The other thing we've added on the WCHL podcast, which I think will be a lot of fun for people, is we've started adding some player interviews. So I know that Chris has interviewed Jacob Cummings. That's number 33, the forward for Grand Canyon University. I managed to snag the Light brothers, Wyatt and Ethan Light, and those interviews are a lot of fun. Chris came up with this idea because the whole point of this is, of course, as he puts it, these are kids who are playing for the love of the game. No tuition here. There's no scholarships here. I'm sorry, no tuition. There's no scholarships here as they get in the NCAA. These kids have to pay to play, and they pay to play because they love the game, and they want to play a competitive game because, of course, although it is technically club hockey, often under the recreation department in many universities, I guarantee you the American Collegiate Hockey Association is a highly competitive league. We have many players who come over to the ACHA who have played NCAA. They'll attest to the fact that this play is very competitive. We have a couple of members on both the men's one and the women's one who have played NCAA, and they'll tell you this ranks right up there probably with between Division II and Division III NCAA hockey. So highly competitive hockey. But getting back to my point after rambling on is that Chris's goal is to make sure that we show people that these kids are playing for the love of the game, give them a little love on our end, and hopefully showcase to people what the ACHA is all about, and especially how proud we are to be members of such a competitive conference, the Western Collegiate Hockey League. And just in time, you are now saved from my rambling. We've got our puck drop, and off they go. Utah controls off the draw. And here we go. The pace is going to be fast and furious. Pay attention, folks. If you've been watching the earlier games, I guarantee you these guys are skating 3 times faster, shooting at least twice as hard, and the hits are going to come hard, fast, and furious. All right, first shot by Plord goes wide. Still bouncing around in the Utah zone. Skips around, and then Carter manages to clear it out, but it gets scooped up by Olsen. He sends it right back, but it gets intercepted right there at mid-ice by Langenbrunner. He carries it across the blue line. He's got Gebhardt waiting for him, but it gets by him. And then 22, Shaw taps around behind his net. Olsen scoops it up, starts the breakout. He goes for a long stretch pass, but a little bit too long. Oh, icing waved off. And so Utah tries to start something. Boy, that was a deflection that went sky high. That almost hit the pipes in the ceiling. All right, here comes Arizona State. Music trying to clear it out, getting up to Ethan Light. And the puck ends up in the zone. Muller's digging hard in there in the corner. He's joined by Erdis, and the puck squirts out on the other side. Dix is going to try and intercept it. He's successful in doing that. But then Arizona State digs the puck up and flicks it out. Music is there to collect it. He sends it up to Erdis, who sends it around behind the net. Garber tries to help his defenders out. And now here comes Arizona State. They're mounting their attack. They come across. Nice stick deflection there by Utah, by Clements, who's just joined the party. He skates the puck around behind the net. Up to number 17, Donovan. Donovan's got a chance. He's got Moeller there on the other side. He's going to go and try and do a pass. Nice little knee dip there by Lamphere to break up that pass play. And now here we go. Puck's in the corner. Out to Logan Jackson. Logan to Moeller. Out to the point, the opposite point. Nice shot on goal nice shot by Clements, but it goes a bit wide. Logan's going to go and retrieve it in the Utah zone. And he starts his breakout. Breakout. Lamphere's going to go head for it in the corner. It gets intercepted instead by Marchant. And he starts something. He sends it up to Schultz, who's going to skate across the blue line on the left side. Nice little centering pass. Oh, a little deflection. Oh, a bit of confusion there. And boy, Kimmel was scrambling all over because that puck kind of drifted out in front of the crease, and Cooch is wishing he had that one back because he had a chance at it, but it gets through. Puck still in the Utah zone. Players fighting for it, and then we got a point-blank shot from Phillips. Nice save by Kimmel, and Kimmel is just looking like a man with like split in half as he tries to slide laterally from left to right, trying to make sure he covers that near post. And the puck finally deflects high into the netting. We're going to have a face-off in the Utah zone. The other thing I remarked upon on last night was I was really happy about how clean the game was. Lots of hard physical action, but none of the chippy stuff, not a lot of wrestling matches, not a lot of dumb penalties, as my broadcast partner Patrick likes to put, and that's always a lot of fun because we want to see a physical game, but we also want to see the fight happening on the ice with the puck and the sticks and pucks going in the net. What we don't want is the MMA style or World WWE style wrestling matches. All right, and so Utah, Dylan Dix behind his own net, out to Miller. And Miller tries to send it up along the boards. It gets hung up. Oh, big hit there by Dylan Dix on Braden Shaw. And it looks like Arizona State's going to get hung up because Braden Shaw loses his helmet in the process, getting tangled up there with Dylan Dix. Two rather large young men. And because he gets hung up, the Arizona State Sun Devils get caught offsides. And now here comes Studioso, Brandon Studioso. Plord facing off against Langenbrunner. puck skitters around. And Ethan Light is trying to get it upfield, and he does. Gebhardt up to Langenbrother, back to Wyatt Light. Oh, and it hits somebody else besides the goalie and bounces out. Lucky bounce for Arizona State. Now here they come 2-on-2. It's going to be Plard. He goes for a shot that goes wide. He goes for the rebound and goes wide. Or nice save by Kimmel. And meanwhile, that's number 9. His Lackey is digging it out. He goes across the slot, and a nice little poke check there by Ethan Light. And he managed to poke that puck out of the zone, so Arizona State's going to get caught offsides. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's not what the whistle was for. The whistle is for our first penalty of the game at 16-13. And Mr. Elliot Plord is going to go sit down for 2 minutes for interference. He is protesting that one. He doesn't agree with that call at all. Meanwhile, we're going to have a face-off in the Arizona State zone. Looks like it's Langenbrunner facing off against Phillips. And Utah controls off the draw. Utah, of course, now going to have a man advantage for 2 minutes. Oh, nice rebound there. It was a quick shot. Miller was trying to whack it in there, but it goes wide. Urtis at the point, all the way across to Langenbrother, back across to Gebhardt. Oh, I'm sorry, to Gibney, number 27. And Dix is going to have to go chase that puck down in the Utah zone and start over. 1 minute, 37 seconds in the penalty against Arizona State. And here comes Miller. Nice little drop to Gibney, and then Miller just gets leveled at midfield by Kruk. And Urtis sends it around the back. Back to Miller. Back to Gibney. Setting up the box, Utah is. Gibney at the point. Skates across the slot. All the way over to Langenbrunner, who drops it back to Gibney. Back to Dix. Dix has got a chance, and Dix has got an excellent shot, and he makes it. Garber makes a save. 1 minute, 7 seconds left in the penalty against Arizona State. And we're going to have, looks like both teams are going to take advantage of that break and have a line change. So it's going to be Shaw facing off against Michael. Took me a while to see that. Sorry, folks. Welcome to the game, Benji. And Music. Michael fighting for it in the corner, and Music ends up with, nope, Michael scoops it up. Still 51 seconds left in the power play for Utah, and then Michael goes for a shot that either gets deflected. I think it gets deflected. It might have been a blocker save by Garber. I apologize. I was looking over at the clock to see how much time was left on the penalty. But we're going to have a face-off to Garber's left. And it's going to be Michael once again facing off against Shaw. And this time, Arizona State managed to clear the zone. Ends up all the way down the other end. And it looks like Logan Jackson carrying it up the ice. He drops it off to Michael. Michael's got room to skate. He carries across blue lane. He passes back to Logan Jackson. Nice little dump to Ethan Light, but it doesn't quite work. Number 21, Cooch gets a stick in there, and then he carries the puck across, and he goes for the tapped. He goes for the pass to number 72. Not 72. Oh, watch out, folks. That one had some mustard on it. Hope nobody tried to catch that one with their bare hands. I'm sorry. He was trying to pass to Karsten Cooch, but it goes wide, and now we're going to have a face-off here back in the Arizona State zone. Oh, no, maybe outside the Arizona State zone. I guess it left the rink a little bit before we got to the zone. And facing off just outside the blue line, it is Urtis against Studioso. And puck drop goes, and Gibney picks it up. He drops it off. And then Dix, back to Dix. Dix sends it in deep, as he should. Muller's going to go and chase for it in the corner. Meanwhile, we're running out of time. 4 seconds left in the penalty. And Plord is at the door, and here he comes. He comes and joins the party. Puck is still getting stuck along the boards, and now Plord comes out. He's got Studioso with him. And oh my goodness, that is a rare mistake by Arizona State. Offsides. Looks like Plord got a little bit ahead of Studioso on that breakaway. And so we're going to have to bring it back out. Have the face out just outside the blue line. Oh, I'm sorry, that was Lackey, not Studioso. All right. And facing off, it's going to be Studioso versus Urtis. And we've mentioned this last night. Arizona State has plenty of firepower. They have some excellent skaters and shooters, and they can score. So it's going to be really important for Utah to make sure that they keep their defensive strategy tight and they don't break down. And then turn on the gas and score a goal for themselves. Giboney fighting for the puck. He sends it across, but it's scooped up, intercepted by Franklin. And then it gets intercepted again by Giboney, and then fighting for the puck, it pops out again. Got a lot of souvenirs in this game. A lot of pucks leaving the rink tonight. All right. Face off right outside the blue line. Langenbrunner, Studioso, pops out, scooped up by Noonan. Then Music sends it in deep. Puck skitters all the way around. Ethan Light fighting for it there. And Gebhardt tries to send it back in. Ends up behind the net. Fighting hard for it. Utah, Arizona State. And Arizona State still fighting along boards. And then Noonan tries to pop it up, and he goes sky high. And Arizona State scoops it up, sends it out, trying to get it to Plord, but intercepted by Ethan Light. He sends it back in behind the net. And Arizona State decides to try and regroup in their own zone behind the net. That looks like that's Cooch, along with Plord. Plord skates it through his zone, sends it all the way across to number 12. That is Franklin. He sends it into the corner. And then Utah manages to clear, and here we go. Gebhardt sends it in right on goal. Good thing that Garb was paying attention, because that was right on goal. And now Ethan Light fighting for that puck, trying to keep that in. Meanwhile, Hosworth is busy trying to get it out, and the puck is still popping or sliding around behind the net. And then number 11, that is not Shea Landakuzik. Who is that? Sorry about that. I'm gonna have to look up my numbers here. And fast and furious we go. And puck is still in the Arizona State zone, and finally they manage to clear it out. Pops out to Franklin. He tries to give a leadoff pass to number 20, Tanner Schultz, but Schultz can't get there in time, so he's gonna have to. They're gonna have to have, I believe that's gonna be an icing. Oh, not icing, I'm sorry. That was like the puck went out of play. So now we're going to face off here with Phillips facing off against Urtis in the Utah zone. And looks like we're having to take a little while to get everyone set up. And then puck finally comes out. Still nobody really in control. Arizona State trying to get control because, of course, they would like to have a shot on goal. And finally, Utah managed to clear it out. Looks like Giboney sends it out. Muller's going to go chase after it in the corner. He's in there, fighting hard with Doucette. And then, oh, big hit here right in front of the penalty box between Sam Brickley and number 4 Olsen. And Olsen's getting up a little slow now. All right, puck ends up in the Utah zone. And then it gets scooped up by Marchant. He's got room to skate, so he's going to carry it across the blue line himself. He drops the pass off. Oh, intercepted there by Ethan Light. He was trying to drop the pass off to Doucette, but Ethan Light got a stick in there. Puck still working it behind the net. It looks like that's Langenbrunner. And then Ethan Light sends it in deep. And then number 16, I'm sorry, I can't quite see the number. Anyway, Arizona State starts the breakout from their own zone. And of course, it's Studioso, carries across the line, goes for a shot. Nice stick deflection there by Music. And we're gonna face off in the Utah zone. And I'm going to now tell you who number 11 is. That's Jules Donovan, who's wearing number 11 tonight. So please ignore the nameplate. We have a quick jersey change there. Arizona State controls. Oh, they don't control. Lamphere was trying to keep that puck in the zone, is unsuccessful at doing that. So number 12, Franklin has to pick it up in his own zone. He sends it back across to Lamphere, and now to Doucette, who's going to carry across the blue line. He's going to try and get past Music, but Music's going to ride him right into the corner. And then the puck's going to swing all the way around to Ethan Light, who tips it to Langenbrunner. Langenbrunner's got Gebhardt on the other side, but his puck kind of bounces off of somebody and ends up not going where he wanted to. Meanwhile, Gebhardt's trying to go and get that puck. Light is trying to stop it. Ends up skittering back behind the net. Music collects it up, sends it up to Light. And here comes Arizona State. Langenbrunner, oh, here's a chance. Ethan Light's got some room to rumble, but he's got one guy to beat. Can he do it? Oh, he gets tied up. Can't quite get his stick on it and get a shot off. So Noonan taps it over to Ethan Light. Ethan Light sees that he's got number 6 across. Sorry. Oh, I'm getting all tongue-tied. All right, here we go, folks. Number 7, Arizona State swings it along the glass and clears the zone. Noonan scoops it up in his own zone, taps it up to Miller, and Miller carries across the blue line. He runs into a crowd. Fortunately, Donovan is there to scoop it up. Logan Jackson sends it back around, back to Donovan behind the net. He's going to run into a little bit of traffic, though, and then sure as anything, here comes Ethan Light. He scoops up. Sorry, Benji Michael scoops it up. He goes for a shot that rebounds off, and now here comes Arizona State. Plord sends a pass to Lackey, who does a great job of batting it down out of the air, and then picked up by Logan Jackson. Logan's able to shoot, but it hits a stick and goes wide. Jules Donovan tries to keep it in, unable to. Lackey's kind of loses it, but then here comes Plord. He sees his teammate, number 4, big slapper, nice save by Kimmel. Big slapper by Cade Olson. Nice save by Kimmel. Puck ends up in the corner. Arizona State cycling it around. Plord fighting for the puck back there with looks like Noonan. Puck's still back there, and finally Erdis comes up with it. He skates hard. He's got help. He's got Gibney with him, and he dumps it off to him. Gibney's looking for a shot from the high slot. Erdis goes down. Lackey collects the puck, tries to send it across. Oh, nice little move there by Gebhardt. He actually knocked that puck out of the way, so it did not reach its intended target. Oh my goodness, a big pile up there, back in the corner. Dick stays home to make sure that puck doesn't dribble in front of the crease, and it goes all the way out. And here it is. It's going to be a race. Gibney is chasing after number 12, Franklin. Franklin sends it up ice. A little bit too far, though, because Clements managed to poke it away. Moeller managed to dump it in deep into Arizona State. I tell you, this is going back and forth so fast, I can barely keep up. We got 7 minutes, 55 seconds left in this first period. Still no score. Teams are tied 0-0. Plenty of action going on. Plenty of shots going on. Plenty of shots on goal by both sides. I'm waiting for my digital scoreboard to catch up with me. It hasn't refreshed yet to give me the shots on goal. Maybe the goalkeeper's having just as much a hard time as I am keeping up with the action out here. It's been so fast and furious. All right, number 27. That is Connor Crook, kind of takes charge and slows things down for Arizona State. And now he's looking around, he's cycling around, he's being back-checked hard by Gebhardt, and Gebhardt actually gets the puck away from him and gets a shot off before getting flattened by Studioso. He pops up, puck is still in the Arizona State zone. 7 minutes, 11 seconds left in the first period. We got a delayed penalty coming up. And it's gonna be on. It's going to be on a very disgruntled number 18, Evan Richards, who just barely got into the game. And now he's going to have to sit. Oh, I'm sorry. It's not Gebhardt. It's 15, Langenbrunner. He's going to sit for 2 minutes for slashing. So Utah is going to have to go on the penalty kill, and that unit looks like Dylan Dix and Jules Donovan, Noonan, and I can't quite see the 4th guy. Anyway, Utah still trying to get that puck out of the zone. Arizona State trying to set something up. They're having a little trouble getting their box set up. They're not looking like they're on a power play. Utah just back checking hard, and oh boy, that was not very bright. Phillips cross-checked Dylan Dix right in the back. Dylan Dix goes flat on his face, and Phillips is busted. He's going to be sitting in the box. Despite his protests, he's still protesting. He's going to go sit down for 2 minutes and think about what he did. Meanwhile, that gives both teams a chance to get some fresh legs on the ice. Oh, interference. So interference. So I have a feeling it wasn't the fact that he knocked Dylan Dix down. Interference, because he was standing in the crease, he must have gotten in the way of Rhett Kimmel and interfered with the goalie. That's kind of what I'm going to guess. So we have a face-off in the Arizona State zone. It's Urtis facing off against Frank Lackey. And Arizona State wins the puck. Here comes, is that number 19, I believe. And sure enough, simple as that, he gets the goal, and he actually knocks the water bottle off the top of the net. So number 19, that is Connor Tillman, gets the first goal of the game and puts it on the scoreboard for Arizona State. Looks like Utah kind of had a little bit of a breakdown in their defense on that one. They got a little disorganized. Kimmel didn't really have much of a chance. Let's see the replay again. So, oh no, he just skated right in there, and I think maybe Dylan Dix gave him a little bit too much room. Or sorry, that's not Dylan Dix, that was Music. Gave him a little bit too much room instead of standing him up. All right, face off at center ice, here we go. And the penalties are still on, which is interesting. I thought at least somebody would get liberated from their penalty box minutes, but apparently not. So Marchant carries across the blue line. He puts on the brakes. He's looking for somebody to pass to, and we're still playing 4-on-4 hockey. And now here comes Utah with a chance. Ethan Light says, I want my shot. Right in the breadbasket. Garber hugs it, and we're going to have a face-off in the Arizona State zone. So Utah is going to be, the Utah penalty will expire in 1 minute, 3 seconds, and then Utah will have 24 seconds of a man advantage if they can do something with that. And it's going to be Gebhardt facing off against Studioso in the Arizona State zone. Oh, big hit there, right in the point between Dix, and it looks like that was, might have been Studioso. Anyway, Dylan Dix won that one. So Plord skates it up, passes it up into the zone. Oh, no, sorry, that was Damon Porter, number 8, not Studioso, Damon Porter. And then good job by Lamphere to keep that puck in the Utah zone. He skates around, tries to get it behind the net, but he gets hung up behind the net. Everybody's smacking away at that, and slapping away at that. And finally, Utah sends it out. And Gebhardt's going to go chase after it along with Olsen. Olsen's trying to get it out. Gebhardt's trying to keep it in. Plord scoops it up. He's going to skate down the left wing and then across the slot. He's going to try and get by Donovan. Unable to. Donovan does a really good job of hanging him up. And in fact, Utah comes up with the puck. Nice little pass in there for Logan Jackson. He's trying to center it, and he gets slammed into the boards. Gets picked up by number 12, that is Franklin. And he slows things down, gives his team a chance for a line change, and sends it out. But Ethan Light whips it around the boards over to Langenbrunner. Langenbrunner to Miller. And time's expiring on the Arizona State penalty. And here comes Phillips. He's going to join the party. Puck ends up behind the Arizona State net. Arizona State looking to try get their breakout started. Here comes Phillips down the left side. He's got Dossett, and he's got number 21 or 22. I'm sorry. And Kimmel decides that's enough of that, Mr. Shaw, and he covers up the puck. 4 minutes, 22 seconds left in the period. Arizona State leading Utah 1-0. And let's see if I've got a refresh on my shots on goal. Well, it's telling me that Arizona State has 2 shots on goal and Utah has 0. And I think you and I both know that can't quite be right. All right, now Muller's going to dive for that puck. He carries across blue line. Nice cross pass just out of the reach of Gebhardt, who has to carry it into the corner. He's got Dix at the high slot, who goes ahead and throws it in there. Dylan Dix is perfectly capable of shooting from that far out. He could shoot out from outside the zone and make it go on target. He's got an excellent shot. And looks like the faceoff is going to be to Garber's right. And the puck squirts loose, gets scooped up by Kruk. He sends it around the boards. Gibney skates it out, giving his teammates a chance to clear the zone. Then he skates back in across the blue line, gets by 1. He's at the slide. He takes a shot. Good idea. Rebound comes all the way out, and Utah's going to have to chase after that. Being pursued by Kelleher. Back across the other way. And finally, nice, up ice pass, but it gets past Donovan. Fortunately, it's right on goal, so no icing. Kruk sends it along the boards. Back to Kelleher. He's going to skate it across the line. He drops the pass to number 4, number 3. Puck's bouncing around over there in the circle. That pass is broken up. And that was indeed Jason Hammett. Utah trying to go for a pass up there. Donovan gets knocked down. Noonan scoops it up. And the puck is really flying around. Muller sends a lead stretch pass up to Donovan, but it's out of his reach. It's going to go into the corner, and he and Olsen are going to go after it, but Olsen instead sends it around the boards the other way. And then here comes Arizona State. It's Derryberry being accompanied by Kelleher. And Utah recovers. Starts the breakout from there, and just past Benji Michael. Olsen again trying to start something. He sends pass up to Tillman, but Tillman's unable to handle it. Back to Marchant. Marchant tries to send it across, and he does. Studioso, point-blank shot. Nice save by Kimmel. Jumps on that rebound. We're going to have a face-off. Nice save. Excellent save there by Kimmel. And I believe Red Kimmel is one of those young men who played NCAA prior to coming here to Utah. We have a face-off here in the Utah zone. Langenbrunner picks it up, tries to get it out to Gebhardt. It gets by Gebhardt. Olsen, big stretch pass, and that one gets by Doucette. In fact, it's going to be icing. So that means we're going to have a face-off back in the Arizona State zone. Looks like it's going to be to the right of Garber. And Langenbrunner will take it for Utah. Doucette will take it for Arizona State. 15 versus 16. And nobody really controlling yet. It goes behind the Arizona State net. Langenbrunner is trying to get a centering pass out there, but he gets banged into the boards. And now here comes Studioso across the line on the left. Makes a little bit of cut. Nice little drop pass to number 19, who then drops to Marchant. And he goes for a shot, but that hits a couple of elbows or a stick or something, goes in the air, flies into the corner, and we have a whistle. I'm trying to figure out. Okay, we do have a penalty. Somebody's going to go into the box. I think when that puck went in the air, somebody tried to bat it down out of the air, and in doing so, committed a high stick. But right now, I'm not seeing anybody going to the box. So it's not a penalty. It's just an infraction for trying to reach up and get that puck out of the air. So we have a face-off just outside the blue line. And it skitters around, and finally Lamphere gets it, skates it across the blue line, waits for his teammates, goes for a centering pass, but it gets by Tillman. Puck slides around behind the back. Dix goes back for it, gets knocked down. Studioso goes for it, and then the puck kind of skitters away all the way into the Arizona State zone. Lamphere scoops it up, being pursued by Moeller. And picked up. Nice little drop, nice little forward pass to Franklin there by Lackey. And then a centering pass, it gets deflected, and then Utah scoops it up and sends a long pass to Muller, but he's unable to corral it, and so it's going to come back the other way. Franklin's going to cross the blue line. He goes for a centering pass. Carter taps it loose and then gets it by his man, and then Moeller helps him out. Carter dumps it into the zone. Utah goes for a line change. Big hit there behind the net by Carter. Arizona State coming back strong and fast. Plord to Marchant in the breadbasket. Kimmel makes the save and hangs on to it. Nice save by Kimmel. All right, now it looks like our shot clock is a little bit more accurate. So it looks like Arizona State's had 9 shots on goal versus 5 by Utah. That seems about right to me. Of course, I'm not actually keeping track. I have too many other things to try and keep track of. I'd have to use all my fingers and toes, as Chris Perry likes to say. Utah trying to gain control. Carter Back in the corner, whips it up to Gebhardt, gets by Gebhardt, and nice little tap to Langenbrother, who sends it across the ice to Ethan Light. And Ethan Light is going to have to stretch for it, can't quite get to it. Arizona State, here comes Shaw to Plord. Plord skates across the blue line, sends back across to Lackey. Lackey gets by Lackey, though. He ends up in the corner. Another sitting pass to Plord. Nice break up there by Gebhardt. He was right there. I'm sorry, Carter. He sends it up to Gebhardt. Gebhardt's going to chase it and send. Oh, he goes for the behind the net thing, and it bounces off the post and bounces back behind the net. Logan Jackson flings it in on net. That was a fast whistle. I think Garber was a little surprised about that because he let go of that puck right away. And we're still going to have a whistle. Both teams going to change. Just 4 seconds left in this first period of action. Fast and furious. Arizona State leads Utah 1-0. Out shooting Utah 9 shots on goal to 5. Not a huge differential. I kind of feel almost like there's more shots going on than that. But nonetheless, the first period comes to a close. Fast, fun, exciting game happening here at the Salt Lake City Sports Complex. Both teams go to the locker rooms, and we will be back for the second period. Don't go away, folks.
Thanks for calling the Salt Lake Visitor Center. If you have any questions, please leave a message and we'll get back to you.
Hello! I tell you what, I'm just going to put you on speaker. All right, a little about me. I'm a bit of a phenomenal skier, so I want to take my family on a vacay, which is short for vacation. Hope you don't mind the abbreviations. I'm just short of time today, so I need to sort of hurry things along. Just a few simple questions for you. They call Salt Lake Ski City, but you do ski in the mountains, right? I'm just picturing myself skiing down the sidewalk there next to the shops. Knowing my luck, I'll do one of my big flips and end up in the traffic. So I don't want that to be the case. Look, I've got to go. You're really keeping me here. Although I will say, I'm going to see your Utah Jazz play a basketball game, and I've heard there's a couple of Australians in the team. So here's my question. Are they causing you any trouble? I just had a thought. The average snowfall near Salt Lake is 500 inches. If I was to utilise all of that to build a giant snow person, would that be majestic or a bit scary? Oh, hey, listen, just quietly. I'm a big family guy. You know that, I've told you that. But after a few days with them, I'm going to need a drink. That's legal, right? I hear Utah has the youngest population of any state. So if I was to head down to one of your hot rockin' clubs or a social event, would there be a youth person in there that might be able to explain Snapchat to me? My kids just won't do it. Now, I've heard there's a bit of a Sharks versus Jets rivalry between the skiers and the snowboarders. And if I made that movie, would you watch it? Ooh, when was your last Yeti sighting? Are you getting all this, by the way? I'm assuming you can rewind. The Utah state bird is a California gull. I mean, even you've got to admit that is confusing. I guess that's more of a statement than a question, but still I thought I'd bring it up. Now, your Ski City Super Pass, I take it that's part of the Marvel Universe. If I get that, will people call me the Winter Soldier Man? I really wish you could see this. All right, well, this will be costing me, so I better go. Thanks for everything. Bye.
This is Beth from the Salt Lake Visitor Center calling you back to answer your questions. First off, yes, you can absolutely drink here. We'd prefer if you ski in the mountains, and I'm happy to call you Winter Soldier.
Oh!
name is Marguerite Van Komen, and I'm a snowbird ski patrolman. My dog's name is Frank. What a good boy, huh? What a good boy you are. I start every morning waking up and having breakfast with the dog, and then we finish every day having dinner together, but everything in the middle changes. We train them using their own instincts, so instead of hunt for dinner, they're hunting for humans. A lot of thought goes into choosing these dogs. Number one, they've got to be able to handle the cold. Number two, they got to be pretty hardy. And three, we're looking for very high drive dogs. The dog that is gonna chew your sofa up at home, we want that dog. The people, the mountain at Snowbird, it's just special. And everything you wanna do is here in Salt Lake. Get off the plane, grab your gear from the luggage cart, and within 30 to 45 minutes, you're up here and skiing on snow. You know, Salt Lake is super unique. We have 4 full seasons. So you can come up, ski all morning till the snow gets a little too smushy, and then you go and hit 18 at the golf course at the bottom of the mouth, and then you can go out for a wonderful dinner and see theater. It's amazing how much you can fit into your day. And not only do we have everything that you want to do, but we have great people to do it with. Everyone wants to be outdoors, happy, and go and play. Every day is different, and I love that. I love showing up to work and going, what is on the plate today? Snowbird is my family, and Salt Lake is my home, and Frank is a great part of that. My name is Marguerite Van Komen. I'm a snowbird ski patrolman, and I am Salt Lake.
All right, folks, welcome back to the second period. We've got an exciting match here. Very close head-to-head match. Arizona State, of course, leading 1-0. And shot count is pretty even, although Arizona State indeed has an edge on the number of shots. And, of course, the ones that count are the ones that go in. So we've got, looks like, actually an update, looks like Arizona State is outshooting Utah by quite a bit now. Looks like 10-6 in that last first period. Both teams coming out on the ice. Looks like we're still doing a little bit of cleanup there behind the goal on the north side, I believe that is. And of course, as I said, this is a game that Utah would like to get some payback for. They met Arizona State. They went to Arizona State early in the season, one of their first road trips. They lost to Arizona State back in September 30th. 2-7, and then the next time they met was October 1st, and they lost 1-3. And so right now, so far, out of the 4 games that Utah and Arizona State will play, Arizona State has won 3 of those because, of course, they won last night, beating Utah 2-1. And it looks like at least this weekend, right, the games are going to be a bit closer. Hope I'm not jinxing anybody by saying that, but much closer game, much closer scoring for both teams. And we're still doing a little bit of ice repair, cleaning up. The Zamboni doors are still open, so we can't really get started yet. I know both teams have got to be raring to go because I'm sure they both want to get going on this thing. And I also wanted to mention, for those of you who are local Utah fans, that coming up later this season is one of the fun events of the year. It's going to be Skate with the Team. That's going to be the Thursday, December 1st. You can meet your favorite Skate Utes players. It's going to be right here at Salt Lake City Sports Complex. It's going to be Skate with the Team. And the other thing is going to be autograph night. So Skate with the Team is going to happen first at about 6 o'clock. Followed later that evening at 8 o'clock, autograph night. Now that weekend is also a home series that weekend. So on the 2nd and 3rd, Friday and Thursday, the M2 team is going to face University of Oregon. We also have games slated, I believe. I'm going to have to go look it up on my calendar. Should have looked before I started talking, but oh, that's not me. I don't wait. Anyway, we'll have a home series for the women's 1, I believe, and the men's 2. And indeed, oh, right, we do. So we have men's 2 is going to host Washington. And then later, like I said, M1 will host Oregon. After that, it's going to be, still looking it up. Sorry, folks. I wasn't very prepared. That was my bad. Let's take a look at that weekend. That weekend will be men's 1 and men's 2. Looks like women's 1 is going to be on the road that weekend. And so we will have men's 1 hosting Oregon, men's 2 hosting Washington. And of course, like I said, the Thursday before, we're going to have Skate with the Team and autograph night. So you can bring your favorite memorabilia and meet your favorite player, get some things signed, and then do a little skating on the ice right here at the Salt Lake City Sport Complex. I got so excited, I went and bought new skates. Of course, I haven't been on skates in, I think, maybe 15 years, so this could be really exciting, could be very entertaining for everyone. But I think I'm going to try and join you all and skate with the team. And if nothing else, it should be entertaining to watch me wobbling around on the ice. That weekend is also our teddy bear toss, our annual teddy bear toss. The men's team have a fundraiser where they ask people to bring teddy bears, and you're gonna donate them by throwing them out. Please don't throw them out during the game. You'll be given the signal when to do that, but then those teddy bears get donated, I believe, to a local children's hospital. I believe it's going to be the Salt Lake, the university's children's hospital, and that is also a really fun event. So I hope to see you out there. Hope to see you at Skate with the Team, or if not, then over here for the home games against University of Oregon and Washington. And looks like we're finally getting the doors closed so we can get started with this game. I also want to thank you all for bearing with us and for your patience with the delays and some of these technical difficulties on the ice. I realize it's a late night for you all, late night for me as well. And I also wanted to thank our guest broadcasters who showed up this weekend to help spell me. Jake Miller, Colette Moorhead, and Brian Priest came to give me a little bit of relief. It's a lot more fun with somebody else in the booth, I can tell you that. All right, and it looks like we're getting ready to start. I think now we're finally getting ready to start. The referee's having a little chat with the Utah bench. And it looks like both goalies are in place. I'm not sure what the additional conversation is about. It's kind of late already. You would think we'd kind of like get started. I better stop. I'm going to get in trouble. All right. Again, I hope that we'll see you here for that next home series at the Salt Lake City Sports Complex. I also wanted to mention that Utah Hockey has a couple of ways you can help the team. If you like wearing gear, if you want to show your Utah hockey pride, you can visit the Red Zone. That's the University of Utah's apparel site. You can get there by visiting a Utah Hockey website. That's utahhockey.com, and look for the link to the Red Zone on the right sidebar. And of course, they've got shirts, jerseys, hoodies, hats, accessories, much more. They have men's and women's styles, so go out there, check it out, and doing so, you will be helping to support the team. You can sign up for Amazon Smile, and with Amazon Smile, doesn't cost you anything. You sign up. Certain purchases are eligible to donate. Every time you make a purchase, it donates a small percentage to the Utah Hockey program. And I use it all the time, and I've noticed that there are a lot of eligible items. There are very few items that are not eligible, as a matter of fact, to Utah Smile. So that means every time you shop on Amazon Prime, you'll be making a donation to Utah Hockey. And again, like I said, it doesn't cost you anything. You just click on the Smile donation. The way to get there, again, visit the Utah Hockey website. That's utahhockey.com. There will be a link, again, in the right sidebar for Amazon Smile. And once you click that, you'll notice in your URL, it'll say Amazon Smile. That's how you can tell that every time you make a purchase, it's going to go, if it's eligible, a portion of that is going to go to Utah Hockey. So Christmas is coming up. I'm sure that many of you are going to be out there thinking about doing some Christmas shopping online at Amazon Prime. We've got Black Friday and Cyber Monday coming up right after the Thanksgiving break. So do something good for Utah Hockey. Sign up for Amazon Smile, and then, like I said, all those purchases you make, a portion of that is going to be donated to the Utah Hockey program. I also want to thank you all for listening in and being so supportive. We've had many fans come by and tell us how much they appreciate the broadcast, and I'm going to tell you right here, well, I appreciate all of you. This is a chance for me to play. I'm pretty beat up, and I'm not joking about the skating. I'm pretty beat up. I was very athletic in my younger days, and I have the scars and the scar tissue to prove it. And this is my chance to be able to stay close to the game by coming out here and broadcasting the game, watching the game, interviewing some of our players, working with the coaches and trying to see what we can do to help promote the program. So I want to thank all of you for being so kind with your compliments and so supportive of us, myself, Patrick McGann. I know if he was here, he'd be saying the same thing. We really appreciate your support. So thank you so much for being such great fans, friends, family supporters of the Utah Hockey program. And it looks like, wow. All right, this is interesting. Arizona State is leaving the ice, and they are heading to the locker room. So I am still waiting for an announcement. As soon as I hear what's going on, I will relay that to you, I hope. I can do that. But both teams are now leaving the ice and heading to the locker room. All right, the officials are having a quick chat with the official scorekeeper and the public address announcer. So I'm hoping to hear something from the public address announcer soon. And like I said, when I know, I will let you know. So I'm going to sign off briefly here because I don't really know what's going on. And hopefully next time I come on, I'll be able to give you a little bit of an update.
Thanks for calling the Salt Lake Visitor Center. If you have any questions, please leave a message and we'll get back to you.
Hello! I tell you what, I'm just going to put you on speaker. All right, a little about me. I'm a bit of a phenomenal skier, so I want to take my family on a vacay, which is short for vacation. Hope you don't mind the abbreviations. I'm just short of time today, so I need to sort of hurry things along. Just a few simple questions for you. They call Salt Lake Ski City, but you do ski in the mountains, right? I'm just picturing myself skiing down the sidewalk there next to the shops. Knowing my luck, I'll do one of my big flips and end up in the traffic. So I don't want that to be the case. Look, I've got to go. You're really keeping me here. Although I will say, I'm going to see your Utah Jazz play a basketball game. And I've heard there's a couple of Australians in the team. So here's my question. Are they causing you any trouble? I just had a thought. The average snowfall near Salt Lake is 500 inches. If I was to utilise all of that to build a giant snow person, would that be majestic or a bit scary? Oh, hey, listen, just quietly. I'm a big family guy. You know that, I've told you that. But after a few days with them, I'm going to need a drink. That's legal, right? I hear Utah has the youngest population of any state. So if I was to head down to one of your hot rockin' clubs or a social event, would there be a youth person in there that might be able to explain Snapchat to me? My kids just won't do it. Now, I've heard there's a bit of a Sharks versus Jets rivalry between the skiers and the snowboarders. And if I made that movie, would you watch it? Oh, when was your last Yeti sighting? Are you getting all this, by the way? I'm assuming you can rewind. The Utah state bird is a California gull. I mean, even you've got to admit that is confusing. I guess that's more of a statement than a question, but still I thought I'd bring it up. Now, your Ski City Super Pass, I take it that's part of the Marvel Universe. If I get that, will people call me the Winter Soldier Man? I really wish you could see this. All right, well, this will be costing me, so I better go. Thanks for everything. Bye.
Beth from the Salt Lake Visitor Center calling you back to answer your questions. First off, yes, you can absolutely drink here. We'd prefer if you ski in the mountains, and I'm happy to call you Winter Soldier.
Oh!
My name is Marguerite Van Komen, and I'm a snowbird ski patrolman. My dog's name is Frank. What a good boy, huh? What a good boy you are. I start every morning waking up and having breakfast with the dog, and then we finish every day having dinner together, but everything in the middle changes. We train them using their own instincts, so instead of hunt for dinner, they're hunting for humans. A lot of thought goes into choosing these dogs. Number one, they've got to be able to handle the cold. Number two, they got to be pretty hardy. And three, we're looking for very high drive dogs. The dog that is gonna chew your sofa up at home, we want that dog. The people, the mountain at Snowbird, it's just special. And everything you want to do is here in Salt Lake. Get off the plane, grab your gear from the luggage cart, and within 30 to 45 minutes, you're up here and skiing on snow. You know, Salt Lake is super unique. We have 4 full seasons. So you can come up, ski all morning till the snow gets a little too smushy, and then you go and hit 18 at the golf course at the bottom of the mouth, and then you can go out for a wonderful dinner and see theater. It's amazing how much you can fit into your day. And not only do we have everything that you want to do, but we have great people to do it with. Everyone wants to be outdoors, happy, and go and play. Every day is different, and I love that. I love showing up to work and going, what is on the plate today? Snowbird is my family, and Salt Lake is my home, and Frank is a great part of that. My name is Marguerite Van Komen. I'm a snowbird ski patrolman, and I am Salt Lake.
All right, folks, I'm back briefly here just to give you a quick update. I have discovered that, I don't know if you recall, if you were here at the beginning of the game you watched, we did have a delay because they were trying to make some repairs behind the goal that was originally the Utah goal that they defended first. And in doing the repairs, in between the first and second period, they kind of flooded the area with too much water. And so the referees decided that it was too wet to play, and what we've been doing is we're just waiting for that water to freeze solid. And once that gets frozen up and nice and hard, teams will come back on the ice, and we will continue with the second period. So I'm going to sign off for now, and I'll talk to you again in a few minutes when we're ready to start the second period. And again, we appreciate your patience. Don't go away. We'll be back. All right, folks, now we are back. The puddle, actually, I was told it looks more like a little bit like maybe Lake Michigan. Anyway, behind the net is now frozen, nice and solid. The players are back on the ice. They're going to do a little skate around just to get warmed up, and we will finally get our second period started. I tell you, the boogeyman has just been out this weekend. And for some reason, I guess the rink god, somebody must have walked in front of a black cat under a ladder and then dropped a mirror at the same time, because we've just been having little gremlins all weekend just kind of coming out and surprising us. At any rate, we are ready to start now, and the goalies are in place. The teams have done a little bit of a skate around. Both benches are loaded with helmets, as it should be, and I expect us to be starting any minute, she says finally. And yep, looks like here we are. We're gathering up in the front. It's going to be Plord for Arizona State taking the face-off, and looks like he's going to face off against, I'm guessing it's going to be Langenbrunner. And they're still kind of skating around. Oh, I thought they were ready. They thought they were ready, and now they're going back to the benches for a little bit more of a delay. And it looks like now the referees are, oh great, now the referees are working on the door on the other side of the rink. Looks like they're having a little trouble getting that closed. See, I told you, it's gremlins. All right, which one of you out there walked under a ladder or upset a gypsy and got the curse on us here? Yep, they're working on the door. All right, folks. Well, why don't we do this? Let's talk about, there are some championships. There's going to be championships in Marlborough, Massachusetts. That's going to be from the 15th through the 21st of March. And as I said, there are two ways Utah can qualify for the Nationals. They can either qualify based on their rankings in the WCHL when the season finishes. And of course, as I've said, there are 10 teams in the WCHL. The other way they can qualify is through their total points ranking in their points in the national rankings of the ACHA M1. And there are quite a few teams in that. There are 70 teams in the M1 national, on the M1 national list. And right now, as I said, Utah is at 10, so that's not going to do it. I'm not exactly sure how many slots are given for each of those qualification chances, but I don't think 10 is going to do it. I believe it'll have to be number 1 or number 2. Oh, and just as I babble on, the doors are shut, and Utah gives a rounding pounding on the boards of approval, and we have started the second period finally and at last. Here we go. All right, puck ends up in the Arizona State zone in the corner, fighting for the puck there. A bunch of people. Plord joins in there. And then nice little breakup, nice interception by Gebhardt, and he backhands it right into Garber's breadbasket, and Garber makes a save. Good heads-up play by Gebhardt there. He saw that pass, he intercepted it, and then quickly, without even thinking, he just backhanded it towards the goal. And on the face-off, again, another shot goes wide this time. And the puck ends up in the corner. Oh, no, sorry, the puck comes free. Two players end up in the corner, but the puck comes free. And big hit there in front of the Arizona State bench. That was Dylan Dix going up against Studioso, who gives him a nice little love tap. Oh, sorry, that was Lackey. Against Lackey, gives him a love tap. Dix and Lackey still going at it. And still going at it. The line official comes in to break up the party. I'm sure they were just swapping recipes, man, for like 7-layer bean dip, right? No? All right, fine. So we're going to have a face-off. It looks like maybe Arizona State gone off sides and all that. And Utah controls the drop. Nice little pass up to Gibney. Gibney crosses the blue line. He's got Donovan there, but Donovan gets ridden into the boards, back behind the net. Moeller scoops up the puck, skates around, tries to do a 180, gets hung up in the corner. Puck still in the corner. Still in the corner. finally comes out behind the net. That is Hosworth of Arizona State. And then he sends it up. Here comes Studioso across the blue line. He's going to kind of cut across. Nice check there by Muller, knocking him offline so he can't make the shot. Scooped up by Carter, who tries to send it across, but he whiffs on the pass. And it's just getting picked up by nifty little stick handling there by Studioso to pick that up. He tries to go for a centering pass, but it goes all the way across to the point. And unfortunately, Kruk isn't able to keep the puck inside the Utah zone, and so it ends up actually in the Arizona State zone. Kruk to Hosworth, out to Studioso, to Phillips, and then out to the corner to number 21, Cooch. Puck ends up skittering into the corner. Lamphere scoops it up, being checked there by Miller. Lamphere back again to Phillips. We've got a delayed penalty coming up, and it's going to be against Utah. Garber, meanwhile, had headed to the bench, and now we have a little bit of extracurriculars, as my senior partner Patrick McGann likes to say, extracurriculars after the whistle. And Mr. Carter, Kenyon Carter, is going to go to the bench. He's going to go there 2 minutes. Looks like this might be a double minor. Let's see what the scoreboard. I saw 2 hand signals. I saw cross-checking and eye sticking, and that leads me to believe that, yep, we indeed have a double minor. So that's 2 2-minute minors. And what happens during a double minor is if Arizona State scores in the first 2 minutes, that nullifies the first penalty, but not the second. And so it could potentially cost Utah up to 2 goals. Hopefully that won't happen. And Utah indeed managed to clear the puck deep into the Arizona State zone. Donovan back there chasing after it against Marchant. Marchant comes up with it and he sends it up to Olsen. Olsen gets tied up. Donovan isn't giving up yet. Marchant sends it all the way across the Lackey, across the blue line on the right side, then skates across the slot. He's looking for a shot. He's going through the circle. He gets pushed off by Music, and then he tries a wraparound. Nice little stick save there by Kimmel. Lackey again. Oh, and he tries to go for a slap shot, but Noonan gets his stick in there. Puck goes way in the air, ends up into the net. We're going to have a face-off in the Utah zone. Still 1 minute, 14 seconds left in that first penalty, followed by another 2 minutes for the second penalty. And unlike the 5-minute major, if Arizona State scores, that indeed nullifies one of the minor penalties. Kruk lining it up, tries to send a pass over into the circle, and Phillips gets tied up. It ends up all the way in the corner. Oh, there, and here we are. Erdis is trying to clear the puck and isn't able to, and finally Music gets a hold of that and sends it whistling down the other end of the ice. 52 seconds left in the first penalty to Carter. Here comes Plord, skating fast down the blue lane, dumps around, wraps around, going to be scooped up by Kruk. He sends it to Phillips. He sends it to Marchant, to Phillips, and it goes to Studioso. Studioso with a one-timer and zap, just like that. Arizona State gets their second goal on the board. Unfortunately for Utah, that was within that first penalty, right when that first penalty was winding down. So that means Carter is still going to have to stay in the box for another 2 minutes. Utah's going to send out their second penalty kill unit. It's going to be Michael facing off against Cooch, Ethan Light, Dylan Dix, and looks like that's Ethan Noonan makes up the fourth for this Utah penalty killing team. Here comes Arizona State all the way across the Lackey, carries across the blue line, but not quickly enough. We're going to have an offsides call on Arizona State. And the faceoff is going to be just outside the blue line. Michael versus Shaw. Puck squirts in. Dix scoops it up. He sends it out. Gets it past Lackey. Goes all the way deep into the Arizona State zone. Going to be picked up there by Marchant. He's going to skate it from behind his net. Being pursued by Ethan Light. Then pass to Lackey. Lackey gets held up right along the boards. And then Ethan Light wings it out of there. And here we've got a breakaway. And Michael's got a chance. He's going to have to skate in there hard, and he does. A little bit of a deflection there by Garber. Puck ends up in the corner, and Michael's in there. And we have something going on. We got a whistle. Lackey and Noonan having a little bit of a chat before Noonan goes to the box. And so now we have a situation where, we have offsetting penalties. So Noonan goes to the box. Clayton Lackey goes to the box. Of course, Utah still down a man for another minute, 18 seconds. So we'll be skating, it looks like it's going to be, I'm going to say 5-on-4. Nope. Yep. 4-on-4. Yep, 4-on-4. And boy, that was a great whistler by Michael. And meanwhile, behind the play, Noonan and Lackey having a little bit of a tangle. Donovan's going to face off against Marchand. Puck ends up still sitting there in the circle, finally squirts out. Marchand scoops it up, sends it out to Studioso, who then kicks it to Kruk. And Kruk kind of runs into his own player, and then Studioso gets it. Studioso, we know he can fly. Unfortunately, again, a little bit of miscommunication by Arizona State, and they go off sides. They skate off sides. 1:04 left in the Carter penalty. And Marchand facing against Donovan. Arizona State controls. Kruk's going to carry it across the line, wing it around the boards, behind the net, into the corner. Phillips going to go chase after it. He gets hit by Music. Studioso sends it back behind the net. Marchand trying to get it out in front. Nice little poke check there by Music. And then here comes Donovan. He's going to skate hard, but he's kind of outnumbered there. He gets loose. He goes a crossing pass, gets by Gebhardt, and Arizona State picks it up, and here comes Plord. He skates through the circle. 35 seconds left in the penalty against Carter. Phillips in the corner, getting tied up with with Muller. And then here comes Studioso. He carries across the blue line into the corner, being pursued by Dix. Trying for a wraparound, and oh my goodness, that would have been a good one. Dossett just misses that opportunity to tip that puck in. Winding down to 14 seconds left in the Utah penalty. Number 22, that is Shaw, working the puck behind the net into the corner to Phillips. Back to Plord. Back out to the point. Shot there. Shaw was going for the tip, doesn't get it, and now Anson Carter. Kenyon Carter comes out, and Utah is back to 5-on-5. Slapper right for the blue line by Gebhardt, and Carter is right there for the tip for the rebound, and he gets hauled off by Kruk. Carter was digging hard for that puck, trying to knock something loose from underneath Garber's pads, and unable to do so. 14 minutes, 19 seconds in the second period. Score is still Arizona State 2, Utah 0. Both teams go for a line change. It's going to be Urtis facing off against, it looks like Phillips. Sorry, I can't quite see his number from here. And Utah controls, but they're not really able to set anything up yet. Music with a quick dump into the corner, picked up by Gebhardt. Gebhardt drops it over to Muller behind the net. Gets around everyone, and then Music sends it back in, but it bounces off someone's skate. Urtis picks it up. He goes for a shot. Nice shot. That was a low-angle shot, and he was right on. Garber's all over it, and now we got a little bit of action behind the net after the whistle. We got a barn dance going on. Everybody's picking their partner and doing the dance. Not surprising between these two teams. Very competitive teams, both of them. Both teams, I would say, it's fair to say, hate to lose and not particularly fond of each other either. So, for Arizona State, it is Mr. Franklin, number 12. And for Utah, it's Gibney, number 27. And, of course, Lackey and our other Utah player who's bent over, and I can't remember who it was. Oh, Noonan. Noonan and Lackey are still in there, sitting in there, serving their penalties, which leads me to think that they must have gotten. Well, I'm not sure what happened. Usually, if they're still in the box, I would think that there's either a misconduct or some sort of unsportsmanlike. But anyway, I don't have that updated on the digital scoreboard just yet. Meanwhile, Marchant picks it up in his own zone, sends it up to Tillman, who loses the handle on it, gets picked up by Logan Jackson, skates it across the blue line, down into the corner. He's getting pursued by Olsen. Nice little centering pass to Ernest, who has to get out of the way so that Langenbrother can have a shot, but it goes high. Langenbrother retrieves his own rebound, skates it over to the high point, to the point. Oh, and Logan Jackson misses on a one-timer. Plord scoops it up. Now he comes down hard on the right side. He's being tailed by Music. Good job by Music defending on that hit. Steered him wide. And we've got Plord and Ernest getting tangled up before they release. And Langenbrother's going to carry it across. He drops a pass to Music. Music goes for a shot that goes wide, goes into the corner. Ethan Light shows up in time to shove that back into the corner. Langenbrother there, Ethan Light there. Arizona State tries to send a high one up and over Lyman. Nice glove there by Logan Jackson. He drops to the ice. And again, it goes way up there, almost high. Oh, that was Sam Brickley. That almost hit the pipes. Brickley scoops it up, sends pass up to Michael, and Michael's going full speed ahead. He's in there skating through the circle. He's going to skate behind the net. He's got Brickley waiting for him. He's also got Ethan Light, and across the way he's got Dylan Dix. Puck's in the corner. He wraps it around finally, and Dylan Dix is going to go scoop it up. 29 seconds left in the offsetting penalties. And the teams are still fighting for the puck in the corner, and they're still skating 4-on-4 right now. And that's number 8, Porter, sends it around behind the net. Gets scooped up by Kruk. Oh, sorry, that's Studioso. He picks up the puck. He's going to skate it across the blue line, across the neutral zone. Oh, nice little poke check by Ethan Light, but then he doesn't quite pick up the puck, and the puck ends up whistling around behind the net. Studioso sends it back the other way. Phillips is there to scoop it up, but he overrides the puck. He overskates it. And then here comes a shot from the point by number 21. That's Cooch. And Utah trying to get their offense going, and both teams back to full strength now, 5-on-5. Cooch again with a shot that goes wide and high. Phillips picks it up. He tries to send it. It hits a stick and goes sailing into the air. Cooch in the corner, being pursued by Dix. And they both go down. Meanwhile, finally, Utah scoops it up. Nice little lead pass to Gimini. He's got Donovan along with him. A nice shot by Donovan. Blocker saved by Garber. Puck ends up in the corner. Gibney fighting hard for it. All he has to do is get it to Clements, who's waiting on the point for it. Donovan comes in to help. And Gibney decides it's time for a change, so he heads to the bench. And it gets by Clements, and now Logan Jackson's going to be racing for it. He's being pursued fast and hard by Schultz. He gets around the other side. And just past Donovan, Logan Jackson's going to go dig for it in the corner again. Once again, teams are back at full strength. Logan Jackson tries to skate it along, lifts the puck up along the glass. No icing. Tillman goes and digs it out of the corner. I'm sorry, not Tillman. Franklin. Tillman now sends it out to 22. That is Shaw. The puck is going back and forth so quickly, folks, and changing sides so fast. I don't have time to look up these uniform names. I am so sorry. All right, Music with a shot. And Garber squeezes it. The offsetting penalties, meanwhile, expire. Noonan and Lackey liberated from the box and head off to the benches. We're about halfway through this second period. Utah still trailing by 2. And, we have to make a little bit of a fix of the goal. The Utah goal looks like it came off its moorings and got pushed out of position. So the line official's taking care of that. And it looks like it's going to be Donovan versus Plord, 11 versus 11 in the face-off, meanwhile, in the Arizona State zone. And Plord just kicks it out to get the puck out of the circle. And it looks like Lamphere up to Lackey, back to Plord, back to Lackey. And, he goes for the centering pass and gets by Shaw. Nice little move there by Gebhardt, getting around Shaw. Dix sends it up to Langenbrother. Nice stretch pass to Gebhardt. He's got some room to move. He goes for a shot from the circle. Rebound bounces back out. Good thing Marchand is there to scoop it up for Arizona State, and here they come. They're coming back the other way. It's going to be Lackey skating hard. He goes across the blue line on the left side. He goes for a centering pass, but it goes way wide past everyone. Kruk scoops it up, sends it across to Hosworth, who sends it up to Doset. And then meantime, Moeller picks it up. He sends a shot in. Stick save by Garber. Bounces out of zone. Carter pokes it back in. And then Hosworth sends it across. I'm sorry. Hosworth gets it and sends it in deep. Gibney fighting for the puck. Braces himself for a hit and then gets the puck by. Ernst to Gibney. Centering pass to Moeller. It gets tipped out. And now we got a 2-on-2. Here comes Tillman. He's centering pass. Good job there by number 6. I think that's number 6 of Utah. It was Logan Jackson. Studioso picks it up. 8 minutes, 22 seconds left in the second period. Puck ends up deep in the Utah zone. Bouncing it up to Erdis, who dumps it in towards the net and then skates after it. And Garber just shifts off the side of Lamphere, who then sends it behind the net to Studioso. Back to Lamphere. And Lamphere kind of loses the handle on it and runs right into Moeller. I'm sorry, not Moeller, into Michael. Here comes Dix. Nice stretch pass to Michael. I'm sorry, to Music. Music across the blue line himself. He goes for the shot, and Garber loses the handle on it. Bounces right in front of him, but fortunately, someone from Arizona State sticks that away. Puck still in the corner. Lamphere sends it around the back of the net. Up to Franklin. Franklin tries to send a pass up, and the pass goes up to Derryberry. He sends it in deep behind the net. Utah's trying to keep it in, unable to keep it in their zone. I'm sorry, not unable to keep it. It clears the zone. Sorry, Sam Brickley. And Brickley gets hit and knocked off the puck by Kelleher. Here comes Donovan with a chance. He's fighting hard. He goes across the blue line, drops off Music. He goes and wings a shot that goes wide. Noonan's going to have to go chase after it in the corner. He's being pursued by Kelleher. He does a nice little 180. Oh, and he tries to get the pass up to Michael. Ernst managed to back him up and scoop it up. He sends it across. Nice pass across to Music. And we are going to have a face-off. Looks like maybe it was offsides. I think Ernst was trying to get there a little bit too quick and trying to reach for that pass and could not get to the pass, or skated into the zone before the puck went across the blue line. All right, Logan Jackson goes and whips that thing around the back of the net. And it bounces around, and Plord carries it out. Shaw's trying to get it out of there. Olsen sends it in deep. No icing. Oh, it is icing. Thought they were going to wave icing off. And we're going to have, of course, the face-off back in the Arizona State zone. It'd be good if Utah could kind of take advantage of some of these icings. I'm seeing more icings this period than I did the prior period, and whenever the puck is in the Arizona State zone, it'd be good if Utah could take advantage of that and make something of it. Whoa, big hit there behind the net between Ethan Light and Shaw, and I think Light won that one. Lamphere sends it back around. Shaw going after it. So Shaw decides to go after a smaller guy. Noonan bounces right back up on his feet. And he sends it in deep, back into the zone. Puck bouncing around still. Clements kind of loses sight of it for a second. Shaw loses sight of it for a second. Finally ends up on Marchand's stick. He tries to send it up, but Gebhardt gets in the way. Langenbrunner sends it in. Logan Jackson's chasing after it. He's centering pass. Oh, man! Gebhardt just barely missed that shot. He really wanted that one, but he's kind of turned around the wrong way. All right, and the puck gets by Clements, but he slows down Lackey, so the Gebhardt's able to scoop it up. Dix behind the net, does a 180, sheds Lackey, Then does another 180, sheds Lackey again. He's kind of getting around Lackey. He's making Lackey turn around and go in circles. Almost makes a mistake there. Marchant comes, tries to scoop it up, but then Clements grabs the puck. Ethan Light, big collision there between him and Kruk, right at the blue line. And Muller flings it toward the net. And it looks like, oh my goodness, it looks like we're going to have too many men on the ice. I don't know who is the guilty party. I tell you, I think between the men's game, the men's 2 game, and this men 1 game, I think I've seen 6 calls of too many, maybe 5 calls of too many men on the ice. I've never seen that many in one night, ever. I don't know what's going on, but people are getting confused, and unfortunately it is going to be called on Utah. So Conrad Clements goes to the box, and of course it's not the penalty on him, it's penalty on the bench, but somebody's got to go sit, and I guess Conrad got the short straw, so he goes to sit. Donovan's going to face off against Studioso in the Utah zone. Oh, sorry, not Studioso, Marchant. Studioso to Kruk. Kruk winds up, and Plord loses sight of the puck, which is right by his feet. Kruk gathers it up again, wraps it around into the corner. Music tries to send it out. Kruk stops it again at the point. He sends it across, but it gets by Phillips. He's going to be fighting for the puck with Logan Jackson. And Plord sends it out to Kruk again. Kruk back to Plord in the corner. I think Kruk actually had a shot, but he didn't take it. I'm not complaining. Studioso, one-timer, hard slapper from the high slot. The net goes off its mooring. All the fans over here on my right jumped up and said, the net, just to make sure that everyone knew the net was off its mooring. Fortunate for Utah at the time, because Utah was really starting to get a little bit behind on that penalty kill. And so I think Arizona was building up some momentum. It was going to be dangerous for Utah. So we've got 1 minute, 28 seconds still left in the penalty against Utah. Our penalty killing unit looks to be Donovan, Urtis, Music, and on the far side, I believe that's Logan Jackson. And Arizona State controls after the draw. Shaw behind the net, looking around for someone to pass to, out to Olsen. And then a one-timer by Marchant just goes by everyone and bounces out so hard it ends up back in the Arizona State zone. Marchant collects the puck behind his own net, waits for Olsen to come along and join him. Then he starts his run across the neutral zone. Nice pass to Lackey, who then flings it straight across. Nice blocker save by Kimmel. And then back out to the point. Oh, and it bounces off of Langenbrunner's shin guards, and he's fighting Marchant for that puck. He's not going to give that one up, but he's got to hurry up and come back because they are still shorthanded for another 42 seconds. Nice little scoop there by Ethan Light. He wings it out. Oh, nice kick save by Marchant, who then goes point blank. Wonderful save. Wow, what a save by Kimmel. I don't think he even saw that until it was right on top of him. And Ethan Light's got a chance now. He's just got to get past Marchant. Skates across blue lane, just shoots it in there. Goes wide. 21 seconds left in the Utah penalty. Dix collects the puck, sends it back in deep into the Arizona State zone. Marchant carries it up, sends to Dossett, who sends it along the boards behind the net, over to Studioso. And the clock is winding down, as you can hear. If you can hear Garber pounding on the ice to let him know. And here comes Clements. We are back to 5-on-5, and Clements joins the party. Welcome back, Conrad Clements. Arizona State with the puck behind the net. Nice defensive move by Clements. Thank you for coming back. Here comes Michael. He's streaking down the left side. He's looking for somebody to pass to. He wraps around the boards. It's going to be picked up by Miller. Then it ends up getting stuck in the corner. Gebhardt's in there fighting for the puck. Miller poking around for it. And it looks like Lamphere is going to come up with it. And then he gets ridden into the corner. And still fighting for it, and Logan Jackson goes for a one-timer, but it bounces right off Studioso, and oh boy, here it goes. Studioso one-on-one with Kimmel, and Kimmel, great job by Music to catch up to Studioso and harass him enough so he doesn't have time to wind up and shoot, and Kimmel, of course, sticks that puck away and sends it behind the net. Great defensive teamwork there by the Utes. Kruk collects the puck in his zone, getting ready to start the breakout. Intercepted there by Logan Jackson. And then here comes number 20 down the side. His shot goes way wide. That was Schultz. All the way down to Phillips, who tries to send it up. Instead, it gets bounced over to Kruk. And then he decides to try it again. Number 20, that is, I'm not going to remember your name. I'm sorry, Tanner Schultz. Instead, it gets picked up by Muller. He's got Gebhardt waiting for him, Gibney waiting for him. He's also got Donovan waiting for him. I'm sorry, Ernest waiting for him. And now here comes Cooch. And Dylan Dix lays a hit on him and knocks the stick flying out of his hand. And another hit in the corner. And oh my God, Ernest just gets nailed. Yeah, that's going to be a penalty. Delayed penalty. Here it comes. I didn't see the player. We're going to see him as soon as he goes to the box. But he just lined up Ernest and just slammed him into the boards behind the goal. And that is going to be number 20, Mr. Schultz, the man who I can't remember his name. I'll remember it now, maybe. Anyway, Tanner Schultz goes into the box 2 minutes for boarding. So let's see what Utah can do. There's only 1 minute, 25 seconds left in the second period. So Schultz will spend part of the third period at the beginning in the box still, serving out the last, looks like it's going to be 35 seconds of his penalty. And the power play unit for Utah is going to be Dix, Erdis, Langenbrother, Ethan Light, and Miller. And the first thing that happens is Utah is unable to keep the puck in the zone. Langenbrother picks it up. And boy, it's interesting. Lackey is just not acting like he's shorthanded. He's really back checking hard. And Shaw sends it in deep. Langenbrother scoops it up. He starts his way up the ice, being pursued by Lackey. And then he's going to cross the blue line himself through the circle, gets by one, goes for the skate by. Garber has him all the way, makes the save. 1:34 left in the Arizona State period penalty. And meanwhile, Studioso tries to come out. He tries to sneak out on, do a line change, and the referee, oh, they're going to let Shaw go. Oh, boy, Shaw's not looking too good. So I think they're going to allow Shaw off because he looks like maybe he needs a little bit of a rest. So, Light to Dix. Over to Langenbrunner. Back in the corner. Out to Dix. Over to Light, one-timer. Oh, it hits somebody and goes over the net. Langenbrunner in the corner there. We're going to have another penalty. And is it going to be against Arizona State? It is. It's going to be against Studioso. And Studioso is going to go into the box. 2 minutes for holding. So now Utah has a two-man advantage, 5-on-3 for the next minute and 14 seconds. Let's see what they can do with this. Again, our power play unit is Erdis, Langenbrunner, Noonan, Ethan Light, and Dix. And Utah wins the draw. Dix keeps it in from the point, all the way across to Light. Light sends it to Noonan, back to Light. All the way across to Langenbrunner, back to Dylan Dix. One-timer, nice shot, and Dylan Dix managed to keep it in. Oh, but not quite. And so Utah's going to have to regroup, and Lackey's pursuing him. Dylan Dix gets tangled up with Lackey. Lackey's still fighting for the puck. He's just acting like this when they're not two men down. He's going to keep fighting for it, and finally gets scooped up by Ethan Light. He sends it up to Michael. Michael's going to go, and I'm sorry, I thought that was Noonan, but that was Benji Michael. And then, oh, one-timer, and Ernest loses sight of the puck. It's right there at his feet. The puck is still bouncing around, and the period ends. And we have a little bit of post-whistle socialization there. Looks like that's Olson and Dix. And the two teams head to the locker rooms. Fans really getting excited about this one, folks. They're really having a good time. And the Lions officials finally managed to kind of break up the party and send the teams to their locker rooms, corralling them, kind of like herding cats, you know, sending them to the locker rooms. And we finished the second period with Arizona State still leading Utah 2-0. I'm going to take a little break. Don't forget, we've got still 35 seconds of 5-on-3, and then 5-on-4. I'll be back after the break. See ya in the third period.
Welcome to the Rocky Mountains.
Welcome to open trails and new vistas.
Welcome to stunning Red Rock.
Welcome to the greatest snow on earth.
By the tree of broken glass, where the hope
Welcome to Game Day Fun.
anything could last. So let's go and take the words that we know.
Welcome to the party!
Of thoughtful dreams. But if you listen, you can still hear
Welcome to Pac-12 Sports.
our names, calling out our names.
Welcome to world-class research.
We'll keep on standing tall. This world is in our hands. So get up and grab your
Welcome to the arts.
top, no trap. We are tough as nails. Come on, this is our land.
Welcome to real world experiences.
We can go to that bridge that crosses over fear.
Welcome to a great education.
Love and what it does to those they hold near. So let's run till the water.
Welcome to new friends.
We can toss our worries far away from our hearts. And if you listen,
Welcome to the time of your life.
not hear them calling out our names, calling out our
Welcome to all you can imagine.
Though we might fade and fall, we'll keep on standing tall. This world is in our hands. So get up and grab your walk and see. Those gray clouds look close, but we have come and gone.
Welcome to the University of Utah.
So get up and grab your walk and see.
Thanks for calling the Salt Lake Visitor Center. If you have any questions, please leave a message and we'll get back to you.
Hello! I tell you what, I'm just going to put you on speaker. All right, a little about me. I'm a bit of a phenomenal skier, so I want to take my family on a vacay, which is short for vacation. Hope you don't mind the abbreviations. I'm just short of time today, so I need to sort of hurry things along. Just a few simple questions for you. They call Salt Lake Ski City, but you do ski in the mountains, right? I'm just picturing myself skiing down the sidewalk there next to the shops. Knowing my luck, I'll do one of my big flips and end up in the traffic. So I don't want that to be the case. Look, I've got to go. You're really keeping me here. Although I will say, I'm going to see your Utah Jazz play a basketball game, and I've heard there's a couple of Australians in the team. So here's my question. Are they causing you any trouble? I just had a thought. The average snowfall near Salt Lake is 500 inches. If I was to utilise all of that to build a giant snow person, would that be majestic or a bit scary? Oh, hey, listen, just quietly. I'm a big family guy. You know that, I've told you that. But after a few days with them, I'm going to need a drink. That's legal, right? I hear Utah has the youngest population of any state. So if I was to head down to one of your hot rockin' clubs or a social event, would there be a youth person in there that might be able to explain Snapchat to me? My kids just won't do it. Now, I've heard there's a bit of a Sharks versus Jets rivalry between the skiers and the snowboarders. And if I made that movie, would you watch it? Oh, when was your last Yeti sighting? Are you getting all this, by the way? I'm assuming you can rewind. The Utah state bird is a California gull. I mean, even you've got to admit that is confusing. I guess that's more of a statement than a question, but still I thought I'd bring it up. Now, your Ski City Super Pass, I take it that's part of the Marvel Universe. If I get that, will people call me the Winter Soldier Man? I really wish you could see this. All right, well, this will be costing me, so I better go. Thanks for everything. Bye.
This is Beth from the Salt Lake Visitor Center calling you back to answer your questions. First off, yes, you can absolutely drink here. We'd prefer if you ski in the mountains, and I'm happy to call you Winter Soldier.
My name is Marguerite Van Komen, and I'm a snowbird ski patrolman. My dog's name is Frank. What a good boy, huh? What a good boy you are. I start every morning waking up and having breakfast with the dog, and then we finish every day having dinner together, but everything in the middle changes. We train them using their own instincts, so instead of hunt for dinner, they're hunting for humans. A lot of thought goes into choosing these dogs. Number one, they've got to be able to handle the cold. Number two, they got to be pretty hardy. And three, we're looking for very high drive dogs. The dog that is gonna chew your sofa up at home, we want that dog. The people, the mountain at Snowbird, it's just special. And everything you wanna do is here in Salt Lake. Get off the plane, grab your gear from the luggage cart, and within 30 to 45 minutes, you're up here and skiing on snow. You know, Salt Lake is super unique. We have 4 full seasons. So you can come up, ski all morning till the snow gets a little too smushy, and then you go and hit 18 at the golf course at the bottom of the mouth, and then you can go out for a wonderful dinner and see theater. It's amazing how much you can fit into your day. And not only do we have everything that you want to do, but we have great people to do it with. Everyone wants to be outdoors, happy, and go and play. Every day is different, and I love that. I love showing up to work and going, what is on the plate today? Snowbird is my family, and Salt Lake is my home, and Frank is a great part of that. My name is Marguerite Van Komen. I'm a snowbird ski patrolman, and I am Salt Lake.
All right, folks, welcome back to the third period. Well, a little bit more happened after I signed off. I was telling you that Utah was going to start the period with 35 seconds being with a two-man advantage, but something happened at the end of the period, right after the whistle. Looks like Dylan Dix got 2 minutes for roughing right there at the end of the period, so he's going to the box, and so Utah will only have a one-man advantage for those 35 seconds, and then it's going to be 4-on-4 for another not quite a minute, and then Utah is going to be shorthanded for a bit. So both teams coming back to the ice, and of course, I'm looking at the scoreboard. It kind of looks like early Christmas because we've got all the green numbers and then the red minutes, the red time indicators. It's like red and green, red and green, red and green. And we are about to start. Looks like it's going to be Langenbrunner facing off against Studioso. Utah controls off the draw. Logan Jackson sends it off across ice to Urtis. Urtis looking for somebody to pass to. He sends out to the point to Logan Jackson. Jackson across to Ethan Light. Back to Jackson. Back to Urtis. Back to Light. And Light winds up, but that shot goes wide. Urtis scoops up the rebound. Light's going to get another chance. He goes for another one. And through traffic, Garber makes a save. And meanwhile, let's take a look at the shot total here. I think they've updated. Yeah, so Utah turned the tables on Arizona State in terms of shots on goal. Of course, what really counts are the ones that go in, but Utah out shooting Arizona State 13-9 in that second period. And the interesting thing is the total for both of them now adds up to 19-19, so they're even up shots on goal. Here comes Olsen racing down through the neutral zone. He's being pursued by Logan Jackson. Oh, big hit there by Logan Jackson on Olsen right there, over close to the corner. They both pop up. Music carries across the blue line. Into the corner. He tries to send for a centering pass, but Ethan Light wasn't quite there yet. And that gets scooped up by Kruk, and Kruk is going to come down. He's got support from Plord. He goes across the blue line, through the circle, wraps around behind the net. It's going to get picked up, and we've got a delayed penalty coming up. And so Garber heads to the bench, and Arizona State has an extra man on, and it's going to be Hosworth from the slot. Shot goes wide, and Utah's going to touch it up. And in the meantime, the penalties to Arizona State have expired, and now Arizona State is going to get a two-man advantage for 35 seconds. And going into the box for Utah is going to be, I can't quite see, sit forward for a second so I can see your number. Oh, it's going to be Cole Music. He's going into the box 2 minutes for cross-checking. So now the tables are turned. As I said, Arizona State's going to have a 5-on-3, and the 3 on the ice for Utah looks like it's Langenbrunner, Noonan, and Logan Jackson. I'm sorry, it's not Noonan, it is Michael. 28, 29, they all run together. All right, Marchant. Back to Lackey. Back to Lackey again. He goes and fakes a shot. And, I'm sorry, not Lackey, but Porter was trying to be tricky and tip it into the crease, but couldn't do it. Now we have one-timer Lackey. Not much power on that one. He gets another shot, and he goes to Plord, and Plord's shot goes wide. And then Utah managed to send the puck all the way down to the other side. 1 minute, 24 seconds left in the music penalty. Meanwhile, Dylan Dix comes out of the box, and so now Utah's just down one player. It's going to be 5-on-4. Plord sending up to Studioso. He skates across the slot. He tries to get by Dix, and not able to. Dix is going to ride him into the corner, and they all go into the corner. Whammo. And ASU setting up their box. There's still a man advantage with 58 seconds left in that penalty music. Setting up the box. Plord from the high slot. Out to Lackey. Lackey setting up, and nice glove save by Kimmel. That was right on top of him, and he still got his glove on it. And that saves, he makes that save. Both teams go for a line change. 46 seconds left in the penalty against Utah. And now a fresh set of 4 comes out. It looks like that's Light, Langenbrunner. And on the far side, I believe that's Logan Jackson and Dylan Dix. And, ooh, puck ends up kind of squirting out with a big collision along the boards, and Dylan Dix just hucks it down to the other end. Langenbrunner is actually going to chase Kruk there for it. He's going to challenge him. And he's back checking. And Ethan Light's going to do a little bit of the same. And then he comes back and gets set up to defend. Marchant runs into the line. Official, thank you, sir. Plord scoops up the puck. Back to Kruk, who sends one wide. Studioso sends it back behind the net. Marchant gets hung up there behind him. Phillips picks it up. Studioso with a one-timer that hits Ethan Light right in the shin pad. And the penalty music is just about up, and he's going to join the party too. Welcome back. He heads to the bench. Utah's back to 5-on-5. Ethan Light fighting for that puck in the corner. Langenbrunner comes along to join him. And just out of the reach of Marchant, and Noonan does send it in deep. And ASU regroups. Lamphere skates behind his own net, being pursued by Urtis. He sends it across just out of the reach of 21, Cooch. Ethan Light dumps it into the corner and then heads to the bench. Lamphere tries to wrap around to Phillips, who taps it up to Marchant, but it gets away from him. Gibney scoops it up. He's skating hard. He's going to go through the circle. Nice little drop to Urtis. Urtis gathers up and flings it in towards the net. Nice stick save by Garber. And now here comes ASU. Oh, and they go down along the boards. Oh, wow. Phillips just missed on a big hit. Here comes Gibney. Scoops that up, carries across the blue line. He's got room. He's going to shoot it. And in the net it goes. And Utah gets on the board in the third period. It's a one-goal game, folks. It ain't over yet. Nice move by Gibney. He kind of anticipated. He was hoping he could intercept that pass, and then he had room to roam, and he did. And he decided, well, I've got three guys who are hanging back and not challenging me. I'm going to throw it at the net, and he does. I believe maybe Garber might have also been screened with all those bodies in front of him. Nonetheless, the important thing is that puts Utah on the board. 15:32 left in the third period. Plenty of time to tie it up or get ahead, which, of course, we are hoping for. And here comes, of course, Arizona State's not going to take that line down. You can be sure they're going to be looking for more goals to score for their own. And here they are doing their best here in the Utah zone. Michael comes up with it, and Michael's got speed. He can go, he can fly. Whoops, and he loses an edge and gets the puck taken away from him. That looks like that was Hammett who takes it away from him. Kimmel makes a save. And we're going to have a little face-off here to Kimmel's left. Meanwhile, the teams take an opportunity to change up lines. And it looks like it's going to be Michael facing off against Hammett. Utah controls. Here comes Miller. He's skating down hard. He tries to get by his man, number 12. Franklin, unable to do so. Big hit by Dix on Derryberry right in front of me. And the crowd is whooping it up. They like that one. Oh, they like that one, but the officials don't. So Dylan Dix goes back to the box. He is not happy about that. He slams the door shut and sits down. Fortunately, he does not say anything else, like the magic word, so it's only going to be a 2-minute minor. And Utah goes on the penalty kill again. I'm not sure how many of those they've had tonight, but it is going to start to add up, I'm afraid. I mean, it is late in the game, but this is the kind of thing they have to watch out for. We cannot be sitting in the box because Arizona State is too good to give them too many extra men on the ice and a scoring opportunity. All right. Puck is in the corner, still in the corner, and ends up at the point. Lackey sends it back down to Olsen. Olsen sends it back around to Shaw. Shaw kind of shakes his guy off loose and then sends back out to the corner to Lackey, back to Shaw in the corner. He's looking around, back to Lackey on the point, across to Marchant, and then right in the slot there is Tillman. Nice save by Kimmel, and then Gebhardt kicks it loose, and then he sends it in deep, and then chases Marchant. He's going to challenge Marchant for it. Up to Lackey, and he's going to challenge Lackey for it. Lackey sends it across to Olsen. Olsen's going to be challenged by Langenbrunner. And puck ends up behind the net. Marchant starts the breakout. Out to Lackey. Lackey drops it back to Marchand, who's going to skate across the other way, going across the neutral zone, across the blue line. And then he holds up. 51 seconds left in the Utah penalty kill. Puck ends up in the corner. Whoop, and it goes to Marchand, and he's going to take a shot for the point. Kimmel's going to take a save. Another save, another save. Puck is bouncing around the crease, and then Utah managed to clear it out of the zone, which gives Kimmel a little breather. There was a series there. It was by Kimmel. Gebhardt's got to go retrieve his stick. Puck is bounced around by Lackey's feet. And he sends it to Plort. Another save by Kimmel. Kimmel is just standing on his head making these saves, and finally he gloves it. What a series by Kimmel. And if I recall correctly, I believe Patrick mentioned this to me, Kimmel, last season, he didn't play for NCAA. He played for Arizona State, the Arizona State ACHA team. So I'm sure he's got something to show his old teammates. He doesn't want them to score. He's not going to let them score on him if he can help it. One time over Studioso, and he whiffs on it. Goes into the corner with Ethan Light. And then the puck squirts out the other way. We got just 10 seconds left on the penalty to Dix. Kruk scoops it up in his own zone. Drops it off for Studioso, who picks it up. Studioso is a smooth skater. He's going a lot faster than it looks just because it's so smooth. And a stick, Marchand's stick flies in the air. I'm not sure what happened there. Meanwhile, there's a shot on goal, and Kimmel makes yet another save, and Dylan Dix is out of the box. So we've got 5-on-5. Both teams go for a change. Dix is still having a friendly conversation with the referee. I'm sure he's just saying, hey, thanks, man, for giving me a little breather there. I'm sure you appreciated that. Meanwhile, in the face-off, it's going to be Hammett facing off against Langenbrother. Oh, I'm sorry, not Langenbrother, Michael. And the puck ends up squirting behind the net. Hammett's chasing after it. Lamphere sends it into the corner deep. Gets retrieved by Michael, I think that is. Kind of hard to tell. Everybody's flying around so fast. Lamphere's trying to keep it in. Miller's trying to poke it out. Finally comes out. Miller kicks it forward, and he gets tripped up. And boy, that was a slash right in the back. I'm not the only one who saw it. The referee saw it. And Mr. Lamphere is going to have a little 2-minute rest of his own. Oh, not Lamphere. It's going to be Hammett. Oh. Yeah, Hammett's getting a little lost there. He was going to head for the scorekeeper's booth. All right. And I was so excited and proud of myself for seeing the penalty, when infraction when it happened. I didn't double check with the official to see what his opinion was, but I'm pretty sure it's either going to be high sticking or roughing. Anyway, here we go. Dix at the point. Utah has the man advantage now. Work in the box. Work in the box. And Michael going into the corner, getting checked hard there by Franklin. Urtis comes in to help, comes out with the puck, out to the point to Light. He goes for an opportunity, but it bounces off the leg pads of Studioso and bounces all the way into the Utah zone. Fighting for it hard. And squirts into the corner in the Arizona State zone, and Arizona State clears the puck all the way down to the other end. Of course, no icing because they're a man down. 1 minute, 24 seconds left in that penalty on Hammett. Oh, I'm sorry. It wasn't high sticking. It wasn't roughing. Jason Hammett is sitting for tripping. All right. Here comes Langenbrunner. Nice little drop to Miller, who sends it in to Michael, but Michael is holding his side and skating over to the bench. Not sure what's going on with that, but he's going to take a little breather. He must have taken a funny hit. He doesn't look too happy over there, poor guy. All right. We are going to have a face-off, looks like just outside of the blue line. It's going to be Donovan facing off against Studioso. Utah still has a one-man advantage for another minute, 7 seconds. Logan Jackson to Music. Music back to Jackson. Jackson skates across the line and flings it into the corner. Moeller's going to try and cut it off, but he's unable to. Oh, sorry, that's not Moeller. That's Gebhardt. And Donovan carries it through the neutral zone himself, across the blue line on the left side. Skating through the circle, he's going to swing around behind the net. He ends up getting pinched down hard by Marchand. He pops back up. And then Logan Jackson to Gibney to Jackson. Back to Jackson. And then Gibney goes for a shot. Nice shot. Boy, I don't know how he threaded that through all those people, but Garber made a nice save. Givney, boy, that was right on. That was a bullet. Unfortunately, there happens to be this goalie in the way, and so he stops it. And we have 24 seconds left in the penalty against Arizona State. Face-off, Donovan facing off against Plord. And Arizona State picks it up. That's number 21, Cooch. And he skates around in a circle. He's just killing time. And then he sends it in deep. And Utah scoops it up. That's Logan Jackson. He's going to drop pass to Givney. And then Givney skates around one guy. And now the penalty is going to be up pretty soon, as you can hear from the pounding on the ice. Oh, nice little shot there. Looks like that was a shot by Givney, or Gebhart. And then Logan Jackson fighting hard for that puck against Hammett. Givney sends it to Donovan. Both teams back at full strength now. 5-on-5. Still fighting for that puck behind the net. And here comes Kruk. He scoops it up. He's got Franklin with him. He's got Plord with him. He just dumps it into the corner. Dix is going to chase after it. Plord's going to go chase after it. Kruk sends it the other way. Donovan's going to go hard. He's being chased by Franklin. Franklin goes for a hip check. Doesn't quite get it. Lamphere pokes it back in. Puck is bouncing around. Still, finally, Donovan controls, sends it across to Givney. He's going to race hard and charge across the blue line. Through the slot. Oh, and then he kind of trips and shoots at the same time, and it goes and stick save by Garber. I don't think Garber was expecting that puck to come out. And now we have another whistle because the puck goes out of play. 9 minutes, 23 seconds left in the period, and now I'm pretty sure the shots are even up. Let's take a look. Yep, 25-25, 6-6 this period. 6 shots on goal by each team. And now Langenbrunner facing off against Marchant. And the puck is bouncing around, and nobody's controlling it yet. And finally, Arizona State sends it to Lamphere. He pops it up to Franklin. Franklin's coming hard down this left-hand line. He dumps it in. Sorry, that was Kush, not Franklin. Kush sends it in, and Kimmel just gloves it. And now we'll face off on the other end, the opposite corner. It's only going to take one to tie this thing up, and Utah is doing a good job of getting some more shots, quality shots on goal, and it's just a matter of getting one of those in there. And Utah clears the puck out of the zone. Marchant picks it up, tries a stretch pass to Shaw, who's unable to handle it, gets scooped up by Carter, and Carter, unfortunately, passes it right to Marchant, who does a good job of keeping it out of Miller's hands. Langenbrunner sends it along behind the ice to Gebhart. Oops, and Gebhardt's pass goes a little bit too far. Olsen's going to pick it up, send it across to Marchant. He's going to skate by one skater, and then to Lackey. Lackey's going to drop it to Marchant, who gets tied up, and then he tries for a centering pass, and then Plord finds it by his feet, but the puck is bouncing around, and when he goes on the upswing, he catches Noonan right in the chin. It is a good thing that these players are wearing face guards, because that follow-through by Plord went right up into the face of Noonan. If he hadn't had face guard on there, that would have been ugly. So Plord goes into the box, and of course it wasn't on purpose, but it was indeed a dangerously high stick follow-through, so he's going to sit for 2 minutes, and Utah's got the man advantage. Power play team out there is Langenbrunner, Michael, Light, Urtis, and Jackson. Utah controls on the draw. Sends it back to Urtis. Logan at the point. Sends it across to Light. Light back to Logan Jackson. Oh, sorry, that's Dylan Dix on the far side. 5-6. Sorry about that. Dix fakes a slapper. Light doesn't fake a slapper. Urtis goes for the backhand follow through. Nice slapper there by Ethan Light. I've watched Dylan Dix do this before. He's got a terrific slap shot, but he's also got a lot of heads-up awareness where he will fake the slap shot because he knows people are wary of that slap shot and then quickly pass it over to an open player. Great heads-up play by Dylan Dix. Unfortunately, it does not pay off for Utah. 1:40 left in the man advantage for Utah. Puck is in the corner, getting dug out, and finally it looks like Studioso comes up with it. He sends it up to Hosworth, and Hosworth sends it up the boards, but Ethan Light picks it up, sends it all the way across. Back and forth it goes from Michael back to Light. Light skates across blue line. Nice centering pass to Langenbrunner, just out of his reach. Dylan Dix sends it back in. to Urtis across the light. One-timer, beautiful shot. Boy, that almost hit Michael right in the chest. All right, now Hosworth finally clears the zone. Picked up by Utah. Ethan Light waiting for his teammates to clear the zone. He tries to send it in, and he finally gets tapped around to Dix. And now he carries it across the blue line himself. Skates it into the corner. Around, wraps it around. Smart play there to Michael. Whoop, Michael loses the handle on it, and puck gets away. Lackey's hoping he was get a breakaway on that one, and it's not going to happen. And then Kimmel sends it around, out of reach. And then it takes a funny bounce. It takes a really funny bounce, bounces out right into the circle, and Lackey takes a wild swing at it, and it almost bounces like the little balls you play with jacks, like a little rubber ball, almost bounces past him, and so he just desperately slaps a leg pad down on it, and we're gonna have a face-off. 34 seconds in the Utah advantage, 7 minutes, 2 seconds left in this game. And Arizona State actually controls off the puck, and right away Olsen flings one on. Nice save by Kimmel. Phillips fighting hard for the puck, but Utah comes up with it. Gebhardt out to Music. Back to Logan Jackson. Oh, little miscommunication there. Marchand intercepts that one. He sends it in deep behind the net. Logan Jackson's going to go chase after it. Giboney's going to be there. Giboney gets hauled down, and oh boy, Phillips is right there to try and scoop it up, and he tries to shove it in there. Another deflection, another save by Kimmel. Puck ends up in the corner. And Music. And now both teams are back to full strength. Here comes Plord. He's going to join the party. Logan Jackson out to, to Donovan. Donovan goes for a shot, but it hits Marchand in the stick and lands up in the net, so we're going to have a face-off. Back in the Arizona State zone. 6 minutes, 14 seconds left in this game. Utah still trailing by 1. And it's just 1. All they need is one more goal in the net, and we will have a tie game. And wouldn't that be pretty awesome? And again, shots pretty even this period. Shots on goal. And the puck squirts out of the Arizona State zone. Brickley all the way across to across to Dix, and ends up behind the net. And then Arizona State, Brickley able to keep it in there. Marchand tried to poke it out of there, and finally he does bounce it out. Brickley sends it all the way back in. Urtis in the corner being pursued by Lackey, and then he runs into Marchand. Brickley keeps it back in, back to Ethan Light. Gets by Urtis, gets by Muller. Here comes Olsen. He sends a long lead pass up to number 19, Tillman. Tillman skates across the line, tries to get past Dix. Tries to get back Jackson. That's not going to be an easy task. And then it squirts out, and here comes Muller. He's going to skate it across the blue line on the left side. And then through the slot, he drops a pass to Ethan Light, who fires point blank right there in the middle slot. Beautiful shot. Garber makes the save. Now Garber is a very aggressive goalie. He comes way out of his crease, which cuts down the angle. The only bad thing is if the puck does get behind you, it's a long way to scramble to get back into position in front of that goal to hug the post for those close ones and those deflections. But so far it's been paying off. He's been making the right calls, and he makes another really excellent save. All right, puck hung up along the boards. Still in the corner, finally out to the point. Music lets one fly and goes wide. Michael in there fighting for it, and now we got a 3-on-2. Here comes Arizona State. It's Plord out to, I think that's Crook. No, it's Shaw. He loses the puck. Donovan strips the puck for him, and he hands it off to Michael, and Michael's lead past Donovan. Beautiful little passing play there, but Donovan loses the handle on it, and he ends up in the corner fighting for the puck. Still hung up in the corner. Finally, Studioso flips it out, but Carter's right there. He gloves it, sends it across the blue line, into the corner before getting slammed into the boards by Lamphere. No whistle. Studioso scoops it up. Out to Franklin. Franklin carries it up, then back to Kruk. Kruk sends it in deep to Lackey. He was waiting right there at the blue line. Now he's waiting for his teammates to catch up. Kruk back to Plord behind the net. Back to Kruk at the point. Back behind the net, a little bit of a weird bounce. Carter's right there to scoop that up. Great, smart play by Carter to break up that rebound that could have been bad news for Tillman. Gebhardt sends it in deep and pursues. And Kruk sends it up to Lackey. Puck ends up bouncing out behind the goal line again. 3 minutes, 40 seconds left in this game. Utah still trailing by 1. And long lead pass gets by Lackey, and Noonan's going to have to hurry up and get to that one. He sends it off to Dix, who sends it back to Noonan. Noonan bounces up to Ethan Light. Ethan Light's got the streaking Ernest, and he tries to do the fancy little kick move, and he's successful, but he can't quite corral the puck, and so he gets ridden out of the slot. And one-timer by Ethan Light goes wide. Noonan flings it back in there. It gets knocked down by Kruk. Ernest sends it back out, and it gets loose, and Dix has got to chase it down. And we're going to try again. Noonan's going to go ahead and fling it in there right on net. Garber deflects it off into the corner. Derryberry sends it up the boards. And something happened. We got a whistle. We got 2 minutes, 57 seconds left in this game. It is a barn burner here, folks. I also want to mention we have two more games left in this showcase. We sure hope you'll join us tomorrow, Sunday. Either show up early for the 10:30 game. That's going to be women's University of Massachusetts Amherst versus University of Michigan, number 10 versus number 6. That's going to be a great game. It is not going to be televised, so it's really going to be available only if you're here in the Salt Lake City area. I would highly encourage you to do that. And then at 12:30, we'll have our usual televised broadcast. It'll be the last game of the showcase. It'll be the men's 2 University of Montana facing University of Utah. All right, Utah going for a bit of offensive action. A lot of scrambling here. Michael out to Jackson. Oh, my goodness. Nice poke check there by Tillman, and he's got room to roam. He's going to go one-on-one with the goalie, and it goes in. Kimmel, he beat Kimmel. Tillman we haven't seen him as much tonight as we did last night, but he's definitely a force to be reckoned with. He went on full bore one-on-one. He beat Kimmel on the glove side, and it is now 3-1. We're back to a 2-goal lead with just 2 minutes, 30 seconds left in the period. Unfortunate there, scoring on Kimmel, but Tillman was Tillman all the way. All right, face-off. Controlled by Arizona State. Marchant out to Olsen. Olsen sends it up ice into the zone. Noonan's going to pick it up behind his own net. Start the breakout from behind his own net. Nice pass out to Donovan. To Langenbrunner. And then fighting for the puck all the way with Marchant. Standing it up. Utah keeps it in the zone. Light tries to go for a centering pass, but it gets sticked away, and then it gets shoved all the way out. That should be icing. No icing. Icing waved off. So Gebhardt picks it up in the neutral zone. He's waiting for a little support. He sends it in deep, and it's going to be Langenbrunner skating into the corner, or maybe not. Plord picks it up mid-ice, and oh dear, no call on that one. It's kind of like Dix put his hands up and says, I didn't mean to do that, and he did take his pressure off of his stick. All right, now here comes Lackey, and he sends it into the corner. A minute, 28 seconds left in this game. Utah trailing now by 2. Big hit in the corner there by Lackey. Erdis looking for somebody to pass to, starting the breakout. Ethan across the blue line on the right side, trying to get by his guy, trying to get by Kruk. Sliding save by number 7, Hosworth. And then the puck ends up skittering all the way. Utah has meanwhile pulled Kimmel and to get the extra skater on the ice. So Utah is going for all the marbles, going for broke here with a minute, 2 seconds left, putting an extra skater on the ice, hoping to then get the equalizer goal, the 2 equalizer goals they need in the last minute of play. And we are going to have a timeout called by Utah, no doubt to try and figure out their strategy for this last minute of play. And of course, we know what Arizona State's strategy is going to be. If you get a chance, shoot at the open net. And once again, I just want to thank everyone for joining us and tuning in, and thank you for all your support. Kind of like Chris Perry says, we don't do this for we certainly don't do this for getting paid for it. We're doing it because we care about the game as well. I know for me, I really want these athletes to get their chance to shine. They'll, no doubt, many of them will go on to do other things in their life. This will be the last chance to get to play with these teammates. on this ice in such a great atmosphere of camaraderie and teamwork. And so it's really important, I feel, that they get their chance to shine here. And we get a chance to promote these kids who are playing with all their hearts all the time. All right. Enough of the soapbox. I'll get down, and now we'll call the last minute of the game. It's going to be Urtus facing off against Studioso. Once again, Utah has an empty net, so they can have 6 skaters on the ice. And Olsen controls the puck. He's fighting hard for it. Studioso goes in to help. Urtus is in there, and it gets loose. Here comes Gebhardt. He goes for the wraparound. Sorry, Langenbrunner. Urtus, and then Dix, nice foot stay by Dix. He keeps it in and goes down, but then Jackson pokes it out to Urtus, and Utah maintains control of the puck. Dix, again, goes for the fake, and then, Plord sends it deep, and it goes wide, and it's going to be a race. Here's Lackey, and he's trying to get it in there, and boy, Urtus goes down and beats him, and it's still not in there, and now it goes in. Plord shoves it in there. We got a little bit of post-whistle extracurriculars, and that is pretty much going to be the game. Oh, dear, here we go. It's going to be Dylan Dix. And he and Lackey are just going to town. .29 seconds left in the game. Arizona State has pretty much sealed the deal on this one, and of course we expect both of the players just to go get sent to the showers, and sure enough, Plord is going off. So that was Plord and Dylan Dix going at it. So Dix goes off to the showers. Plord goes off to the showers. And we just have 29 seconds left in this game. And it's got to be hard. When you're playing this hard with all your heart, like I said, it's hard. It's tough. It's a tough loss to take. I know that Utah really wanted to be able to show their stuff here. I'm sure that this is a disappointing result for them. And they felt like, they were a better team now than they were back in September. And they are a better team. But once again, Arizona State, they're a good team. They are a very, very good team. I wouldn't be surprised if the next time we see the rankings, they're up there higher than 5. Up there at least in top 5 or maybe a little bit higher. But we will see. I'm only predicting these things. I don't know. It's all done by a computer and a bunch of formulas. So the computer is actually a lot more accurate than my guessing. So we're going to have our face-off here at mid-ice with 29 seconds and 29.4 seconds. Joining us on the ice, it's going to be 4-on-4 with the penalties. Or no, sorry, 5-on-4. Utah's going to have to play shorthanded for the last 29 seconds. And fighting for puck is Clements. Kawamoto's over there fighting for it. Kelleher and Phillips, and we have a whistle. A quick whistle. 22 seconds left on the clock. So the 4 for Utah, looks like it's Clements, Kawamoto, Jackson, and that would be Garrett Jackson, Logan's brother, and Logan Jackson. So the Jackson brothers are on the ice together. And that stretch pass gets past Richards, and Evan Richards has joined the party, number 18. And Arizona State, of course, Kimmel's back in the goal because there's no point in pulling the goal at this point. And there we have it. That is the end of the game. Arizona State comes away with the victory, 4-1, a definitive victory. Utah, unfortunately, gets swept here at home. Once again, please join us tomorrow for our last 2 games of the Beehive Showcase. It's been a long day, folks. I'm sorry. And we hope to see you here. In the meantime, please stay safe. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and we'll be seeing you here tomorrow.